obligation. Find out if you're overinsured, underinsured, or somewhere in between. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Go to supersure.com. That's supersure.com.
Paid for by Supershore Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Hey Orlando, Joe Rossi here for Greenway Kia. It's tournament season and the deals are tipping off. As interest rates drop, we're driving them down even further with financing as low as 0% APR on select new Kias. And our team is ready to go full court press to help you get approved, even if your credit isn't perfect. Explore one of the area's largest Kia inventories at greenwaykias.com. More inventory, more competition, more money for your trade. I'm Joe Rossi, and I want to see you in a Greenway Kia.
With approved credit. Offers expire 4/5/26.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news. We offer HELOCs and home equity lines of credit with scores as low as 640. Find out if you're qualified today at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
With thatmortgageguyDon.com.
When fire tears through a building, the damage can feel impossible to overcome. That's when Paul Davis Restoration steps in. The experts at Paul Davis understand how devastating fires can be to your commercial property and livelihood. For over 50 years, they've led the way in restoring properties after large-scale fire damage. With rapid response and experienced teams, Paul Davis helps rebuild faster and stronger, guiding owners every step of the way. Learn more at orlando.pauldavis.com. Paul Davis Restoration. When things go wrong, we do what's right.
Springtime has finally arrived in Central Florida, and that means now is the perfect time to reduce energy bills while improving your home value. Renewal by Andersen's Acclaim replacement windows are crafted for homeowners who want the elegant strength and stability of wood without the high maintenance. And during Renewal by Andersen's exclusive one-month-only sale, when you purchase one window or door, you'll receive the second 40% off. Many homeowners say the transformation is immediate. Quieter rooms, regulated temperatures, and a level of comfort that can't be matched by others. JK says, love Renewal by Andersen, always professional, deliver as promised, and have such beautiful products. Their salespeople are top notch. And with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0% interest for 12 months, upgrading your home has never been more achievable. Hurry, this offer ends April 30th. Restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your complimentary in-home consultation. License number CGC 1527613.
Hey, I'd like to tell you about a man named Phineas who, as a child, survived the Holocaust. Now, Phineas survived because Christians hid him from the Nazis, risking everything to save his life. Now, today, he is in his 80s. He can no longer stand on his own or leave his home to receive any medical care. And when sirens are sounding and missiles are falling, he doesn't have the time or the strength to reach safety. Now, thanks to our friends at the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, a mobile clinic brings doctors and medicine right to his home, providing care that he would not receive, especially in wartime. As Israel's Holocaust Remembrance Day approaches, we honor survivors like Phineas, not just with words, but with action. And if you give $45 right now, you can rush these life-saving essentials to the most vulnerable that are in a fight for their very survival. Call now. Please be as generous as you can. It's 888-488-IFCJ, 888-488-IFCJ. Check them out online at ifcj.org. That's ifcj.org today.
Subject to credit approval and down payment.
Let me get one thing clear. If I tell you you can come in and get a car for 0 down, then that's what will happen. It's not my fault that you don't believe. It's not my fault that you haven't tried. All you had to do was stop in, and you could have got a car for 0 down. Nervous some of y'all, saying y'all need a car and can't get approved. Saying that nobody will get you done, when I'm telling you will get you done. Telling you what bad credit doesn't matter. Telling you what a repo doesn't matter. Telling you don't need no money at all. I don't understand y'all. Every day somebody walks in. Every day somebody don't have no money. Every day we get them approved with bad credit. We get them approved. This is what we do. We get people approved with bad credit, and they don't need money. DaytonaMitsubishi.com.
Win $25,000 in free impact windows from Maurice Windows. Text TRUST to 20129.
Live Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. From car accidents to personal injury cases, Mo has you covered. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM, HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station guaranteed human. Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. The News Junkie is on. The three best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and C-Lane.
It is Friday, April 10th, 2026. Lots to get to today, from Artemis II Splashdown to 2026, as predicted by a journalist in the 1970s, and new bombshells in the Hookers in Hopetown mystery, plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Hey there, Sabrina.
Hello.
Hello, C-Lane.
What's happening?
And hello to you. You can join us on the show today. All you have to do is send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch today. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your messages rolling right into the studio in real time. And this never, ever, ever happens, friends.
What happened?
Wait, what's up?
We have a last minute message.
No.
Yeah, I know it's
No.
shocking, but we all have to try to digest this together. We have received a last minute message just before the show here on a Friday, and it's from the astronauts headed back to space. Let's see what they said.
Have a great Friday, you mother.
Let's go. We're going through a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday has arrived. Not really a Monday, but you get the point. You know, pat yourself on the back.
I was wondering if you would acknowledge that. I was like, we came in on Tuesday. I go, I bet he's going to say we made it through a Monday.
I do a thing now, C-Lane, where when I'm saying the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I start to process. Well, which one of these was done and not done? Am I stolen valor for the week here? I don't want to be that. But here we are. How's everybody doing on a Friday?
Oh, good.
Very, very good. How about you?
Good. We watched a little bit of that weird show with the tiny lady last night, the new one. Yeah. The Elizabeth, what's her name? Elizabeth Banks. Mm-hmm. Like some Elizabeth Banks.
The miniature wife?
Yeah, where he, honey, I shrunk my wife, or, he like shrinks his wife down.
Is that what happens? Like, do they explain how she got tiny?
I got to tell you, see, when I kicked on the show, I said, well, here's the deal. It must be the case that this guy does it in a different way, because this can't be a total Honey, I Shrunk My Kids ripoff. No way would they do that. And
be hilarious if they did it and pretended it wasn't. Like, he had the shrink ray up in the attic, and then, the kids were playing baseball, and one of them just, popped in the window, and they're like, no, it's a totally different show.
The exact lineup for it, the guy who's the husband inventor guy, of Elizabeth. What I say her last name was Elizabeth Banks. The guy who's her husband is one of the dudes from Succession, the television show.
Oh.
And I go, well, how are they going to work in that he shrinks his wife down to being 6 inches tall? I was like, what are they going to do here? And they go to his office, and he's a genius, and he's working on shrinking down corn to little tiny corn cobs and then being able to blow the corn back up. And I go, it's literally Honey, I Shrunk My Wife. Like, they just the same thing, same. I thought they'd have something else. Maybe she drank a potion,
right, or something.
Maybe, I don't know. You know what? I wasn't even paying attention, thinking that there would be curse words. We got like 2.5 episodes in. I wanted to crap on it, but I'm not having a bad time. Like, it's not the greatest, and the first episode is not like the most well-written thing by any stretch that I've seen, but I'm kind of having a little bit of fun.
So, you know who's in it that I kind of like? The guy from Handmaid's Tale, who was the husband, and the guy has one of the most unfortunate names.
What's it? The guy with the gray beard, the very polished-looking older white dude?
No, black guy. The husband from Handmaid's Tale.
Oh,
that guy. Yeah.
He's barely in the first season because they get, separated, but he's in a lot of the later seasons, and I think he's a really good actor, but just
great actor.
Unfortunate name. His name is O.T.
Say it.
Fagbenle? Fagbenle? Fagbenle.
Is he?
I don't know. I haven't heard.
I will tell you, in this, he plays the most pathetic character ever.
No.
And it's kind of funny. The character that he plays is very pathetic and like weak and sad and stuff. We watched some episodes of that last night, but I wanted to hate on it. I was like, let's watch this because I'll just crap all over it.
Man,
and it's not good, but it's like I'm kind of having fun a little.
We, after the pit last night, caught up on a couple more episodes of Love Overboard. And just when I thought that show was going to start coasting a little bit and just being kind of like...
What did they do, kill somebody?
No, but there was just like this one...
Actual Somalian pirates into the equation.
That would be hilarious.
Now.
I am a topsider now.
That guy takes over and it sends everybody down to the bottom of the ship to work. And
no, but we had Ashley had to go to bed and we had just finished an episode, but she wants to spoil the cliffhanger. So she's like, all right, we can watch just the beginning of the next episode to see who they're both on the plank, right? To see whose plank drops.
Yeah.
And then they go to the next episode. And it's just wild. Like the reaction, everything that goes on. Like, you think this guy has...
I thought he was going to drop a bombshell there.
Same.
He just...
Crazy things happen.
They go to the next episode and,
whoa.
Holy cowzers.
I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it yet.
No one cares about this show.
Ashley does.
We went... He lets the two girls get on the plank there.
They're both on the plank side by side, right? And one of them's going to drop into the water.
He has, spoiler alert if you haven't seen episode 5 and 6, he has a clear, best case scenario, and he had what we thought was a clear worst case scenario. Like, don't pick the chick that you've been with for a while. Pick the chick that just hooked up with you in the shower. Because if you pick the chick you've been with for a while, she's going to find out and get pissed. There's all kinds of things.
Yeah.
And so he just sat there and, really just... grilled himself over it for 45 minutes.
Well, I'm sold.
No. Somebody said, what show is this? I'm not sure they care anymore after that, but what was this?
Love Overboard.
Love Overboard.
So they're all just waiting for the longest time. These two poor girls are standing on a stupid plank, probably reevaluating their life choices for being on this show, and they're like, dude, Esser, get off the pot, but you got to do something.
Like a cameraman didn't just hop overboard, Like some of the crew starts.
I thought he was going to.
Love Overboard, folks who are asking. All right, you don't need to see it, unless you really want some good drama.
I gotta say, I have no idea what's happening, but the excitement in C-Lane's voice does entice me.
It is primo crap television. Just primo crap.
Hey, speaking of that, let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great big wide world of ours. And we go to Primo Crap Television, everybody. Woo-hoo. And I'll tell you, this one is not in my wheelhouse here. I am not watching this show, but I can't get away from the reaction to the show High Potential.
C-Lane likes High Potential.
High Potential, I'm not familiar with.
Is this the clip I think it is? I texted you about something.
Probably, because everybody's been blabbing about this show High Potential and all of the product placement that they have in it. And I guess this is going viral now. Here's an example of what's happening to start us off.
Border, New Mexico, San Angelo, Texas, Yakima, Washington.
I can run it in Copilot. I'll have it categorize police reports by location, date, and name. Then color code them by location and create a summary of the findings.
Thanks, Copilot.
Okay, here we go.
She opens her Windows laptop with the logo on there and then opens up Microsoft Copilot and then walks us through all of the things Microsoft Copilot is going to help her out with.
I groaned when I heard it, and I was like, the only way that would have been more cringe is if she had said Microsoft Copilot. She's like, I'll just put it in Copilot.
Yeah, she starts clicking away on the keyboard and stuff, and you go, well, I know what's happening here. This is obviously product placement that this company is paid for. And companies pay an insane amount of money to get their products worked into the show like this.
But we're so beyond it. We're like, you could tell immediately, especially with Copilot, anytime they're drinking a Diet Coke, and no matter what the angle of the camera is, the label's facing it.
Yeah.
It's so, I don't know if it's working like it used to in the 50s.
Well, I'm telling you, it's still not nearly as bad as some of this stuff has been. And by the way, Lee Road on YouTube says, boo, lame. Well, guess what? You got to choose something. Either you're going to get commercials during the show or you're going to get commercials in the show, but there's going to be commercials somewhere. Right? There's got to be commercials. Sometimes people are like, God, there's so many commercials on the news, junkie. Well, I mean, something has to pay for the stuff, right? There has to be commercials somewhere. Just be glad it's not like this. Just for those of you who don't recall, let's go to War of the Worlds on Amazon. Remember, it's on Amazon
Don't
Prime.
recall or just never watched it because it was very, very bad.
Ice Cube would be upset that you said that about his movie, but here it is.
Boy, this is a top secret military installation. They don't let thumb drives in the building.
Faith can load it here and I can get it to you.
How?
Prime Air.
Prime Air.
Prime Air.
This guy is an Amazon worker in the background who's able to get the key piece that's going to save the world over to the location.
I had no idea this was it.
This is the thing that they went full force, like pedal to the metal. Everything is surrounding Amazon Prime and Prime
know
Air.
my favorite part of this is, I don't know if you guys heard this or not, but they did an interview about this, and obviously they made this movie, War of the Worlds, with this scene and more scenes like this. This is not the only one. With this scene in the movie. And then they did a tour, and they go, did Amazon push for these scenes? And they go, no, Amazon didn't say anything. There was actually no influence from Amazon on the movie at all. They were really cool about things. We just thought it would be a good part to add into the plot. And I go, I have never heard a liar lie so loud about lying in my entire lying life. That is like this. The idea that if no corporation told you to do this, and you did this right here?
Faith can load it here and I can get it to you.
How?
Prime Air.
Prime Air.
Stupid.
Oh, it's the future of delivery.
It's the future of delivery?
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
But as
it
the
gets
world
worse.
is exploding around you.
Just keep that in mind. The world is about to explode. Okay, keep that in mind.
Gonna place an official order on Amazon to activate the drone.
Nice.
I can't watch this anymore.
We only got one shot at this. Are you sure you can get it here?
Don't worry. I fly like a bird.
So you get the point. He goes, you have to create an official Amazon order for me to be able to do this. The world's going to end, but Amazon will get big mad at me if I don't have an official order.
Prime Air.
I don't remember exactly how War of the Worlds goes, but
Wasn't that? I'll tell you something.
aren't there alien warships outside that could just like flick away your stupid little
Prime Air.
drone?
Prime Air.
Yes, and they're blowing up the planet, okay? The aliens are blowing up the planet. Well, I'm going to need, as you might imagine, an official order on Amazon.com.
We don't have no thumb drives here.
So all I need from you guys.
It's a bad Ice Cube.
It was
a little black voice territory, if I'm going to be honest with you. It was, yeah.
Well, I can't do Ice Cube with, I mean.
It just seemed a little, look, you were leaning into it. We have to decide, though, are we okay with product placement or not? There's an Always Sunny clip for almost everything, and this one came forward to this whole debate here.
Forgot to tell you, our Prime delivery came with Finn's birthday present in it. Just ordered it yesterday. It's already here.
This is High Potential again.
This is, right? So High Potential has the Prime delivery scene too, but wait for it.
Forgot to tell you, our Prime delivery came with Finn's birthday present in it. Just ordered it yesterday. It's already here.
Oh, yeah, that's me. Oh, yeah, this is good. Thank you. Oh, my, that was so fast. Amazon Prime deliveries are so fast.
This was a
Is that the
joke.
guy from The Bachelor?
Yeah, this is pretend when Frank was on The Bachelor and Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and he got an Amazon delivery early, and it like comes full circle with this damn show that Caitlin, whatever her name is on, the woman from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, who is incredibly funny, but High Potential. Viewers of that, you can tell me what you think. C-Line, is it really that bad, full of all the plot placement?
See,
is it like that?
The co-pilot one definitely stood out to me. I don't really get bothered by the product placement where you don't mention the stuff. Like if I see somebody drinking a Diet Coke, I'm not always taken out of it unless, like Sabrina was saying, the label is too obviously placed every time you see it. The Jurassic Park movie that we saw recently, you did kind of notice, you're like, I'm seeing a lot of brand names here. Yeah. A lot of things that would have been blurred out for, an artistic camera angle. It seems to be way in focus.
Yep.
But that doesn't take me out as much as mentioning the stuff. And up until you played that clip, I forgot about the one about Amazon Prime. But I do remember seeing that and going, come on.
What was the Jurassic Park one again? Because in the new Jurassic
Isn't it
Park,
Jimmy Buffett?
There was a thing with Jimmy Buffett in it, but in the new Jurassic Park, the entire movie hinges on a product placement. And it's a candy bar or something.
One of the things that goes wrong in like the first scene of the movie has to do with somebody like dropping a Snickers wrapper and it gets stuck in something and everything goes haywire and the dinosaurs are escaping and craziness. But then later on in the movie, they have to like stop at a convenience store in Jurassic World, like a gas station that's for the staff. And there's a whole, they encounter some dinosaurs there, probably fighting some velociraptors. Like, think of the kitchen scene in the original Jurassic Park.
Dino DNA.
But this one is in a convenience store where every single brand of orange juice and candy bar is visible clearly to the camera.
Here's an example. This is Jurassic Park that we're talking about in the Snickers scene where again, ultimate secure situation. They're breeding dinosaurs and stuff.
Hold on.
He's got a Snickers in his mouth. He drops the label. Yeah. The label's floating around. The label sucks into the system and breaks everything. And that's like the crux of the movie. And
this is like scene one.
Yeah, this is the very beginning where this was the beginning that you needed to have for the setup of the whole story. But I ask you, because people complain about commercials, they complain about commercials on this show, product placement when it happens, they complain about it. Are you against the product placement in these movies? Or is it just when it's so bad and clunky like that you don't like it? Like the famous Hawaii Five-0 Subway one.
Fantastic.
Or C-Lane sipping on a 7-Eleven.
No, it's Wawa, buddy. Come on.
Sorry. Bad product placement.
That check's going to bounce now.
Sorry, I screwed it up for him. Screwed up the deal yet again.
Sorry, I can hear you with my Owala sweet sip there in my mouth.
This is going to be like when...
We are never going to get product placement on this show.
What was the cell provider I had when I ruined it in the first live read?
AT&T?
AT&T?
Yeah.
And they, I forgot to read
an
this,
Italian restaurant too.
Oh yeah, that one was. I had a script for AT&T, and I didn't read it beforehand, and so I started off, and I'm like, yeah, I got T-Mobile, and T-Mobile sucks. Oh God, it's the worst. And then I looked down at the script, and it's like, do not mention T-Mobile or any other competing brands, and I go, well, it's good having you, AT&T.
Pretty sure you asked both C-Lane and I during the live commercial.
You asked Sabrina, and I was like, what is he doing?
I have AT&T, Sean. What's up, man?
Like, what do you guys have? And we crap on every major provider, and then I go, I really did a number on that one there. Yep, no longer with the station, unfortunately, or at least with the show, or with me at the very, very least. So we want to see what you have to say about that. And if you have any bad examples, terrible examples of product placement, since that's becoming such a phenomenon in these products, and they don't make enough at the theaters, and the movies got to have more ads, or the television shows aren't making enough from the streamers, so they got to have more product placement. It's a part of life. And tell me the worst examples you've seen, or if you don't mind it, send your dispatches at thenewsjunkie.com or tips, TIPS, at thenewsjunkie.com. All right, quick break. We got to get into Artemis II on the way home for the splashdown. I got some great emails that we need to open up the show with here. A lot more on the way, and it's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices.
Hello. Welcome behind the scenes. Welcome behind the scenes of the show. NASA headed home. We'll be talking about that in just a moment. Do you hate product placement, chat? Do you hate product placement? Yes or no? Any gamer that uses G Fuel? True, the G Fuel things are kind of clunky sometimes. Even with a streamer, and then the streamer will be like, streamer will have their G Fuel bottle, and they'll be like, boy, this G Fuel sure is fantastic. Meanwhile, I can't even get the horse semen sponsorship over here. Soundgarden Black Hole Sun Barbie product placement. True, and they didn't even get paid for that. I hate when they point it out. It should just be there. Amazon is tricky, though. How often do you say, where's my Amazon? Yeah. I got an Amazon delivery notification during that segment. Florida Scratcher says, I don't care. He cares so little, he put IDC. That's how you know he cares that little. Hi, Barbara. How you doing? Hello? How are you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Good. Okay. Be safe out there. You gotta put some shoes on. You don't have any shoes on.
I'm going barefoot.
You're not going barefoot out there. I know you're not. Bye! Bart versus Bill Gates says IDC. Sometimes it can be used as a funny point to the plot, like Harold and Kumar go to White Castle, great stoner movie. That's true. It could be done. It could be done well, like anything else, or sloppy. Just like sex. It reminds me of the Wayne's World movie where Wayne is doing commercials in the movie. Darth says if it's over the top, it takes me out of what I'm watching. It's like on the late night shows before they got all political way back in the day. They used to be doing a segment, and then they'd go, well, tell us when your movie comes out. Oh, movie's coming out in a couple of days. And then the host would grab like a Tenactin and turn over to the other camera and go, our program today is brought to you by Tough Actin Tenactin. Works on the spot. Or they'd be like, Marlboro Red cigarettes. Enjoy a fresh huff off of Marlboro Red. Pop one of these darts in your mouth and launch into the greatest day of your life. Oh, okay. They used to do it that way. I have a prop for Watson's shelf. What prop? I'm listening. Coming back with the Artemis II Splashdown news. What's going to happen, how it's going to happen, what the timeline looks like. Not only the timeline, but how fast is this thing going to be going? All of that. Coming up in just a moment. Time for a Winston break, Fred. True. Before they became political, that's talk shows from 40 years ago? Yes. They were not political then. Nor were they in the 70s or 80s or 90s or aughts or early 2010s, 2015, 2014, 2013, the years that ruined it all. The beginning of the end for late night TV. And now in 5 years, we'll have none of them. Praise the Lord. Praise Allah. I have never had a sip of G Fuel in my life, for the record. All right? Just so you know, never had a sip of G Fuel in my life. It could be the best thing in the world, or it could be horse semen. Not sure. Hey, Ryan. Dan says, I remember Johnny and Dave and Jay Leonard doing political jokes. Ha! But you're not dumb. You know the difference. There is a difference between when the late night shows were doing a political joke or two, talking about what was going on in the world, and a rampant obsession with politics that takes over people's brains. And you know, if we looked at the numbers on both of those generations, they would be wildly different. You know that, I know that, everyone knows that. Secret shows tonight in this studio, friends. And don't forget, you can get the Secret Shows app. I'm going to plug it on the show in just a bit. The Secret Shows app for Apple TV is now available in the Apple TV App Store. So you can watch tonight on your television, 8 p.m. Normally, Secret Show streams at 8 p.m. on Thursdays, but this week we have some scheduling things. So 8 p.m. tonight. 90 seconds and we're back. I've never even heard of G Fuel until now. How old are you? Sean, do you remember Colonnades Hotel on Singer Island? I was a bellboy there when Jay Leno used to do stand-up there. I do not recall that hotel. But I only went to Singer Island a handful of times. So, not shocking. All right, we are coming back. Here we go. Do you need an Apple subscription? No, you just need an Apple TV and then you download the Secret Shows app. You need a Secret Shows subscription.
At ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Wayfinder Life-Changing Travel is back for Season 2. Join us as we explore breathtaking natural beauty and the layered history of destinations around the world.
One of the things that really struck me about my time in Alaska, there's just a more dramatic starkness where the water and the land meet. It really is just a magical landscape.
So come along as Season 2 takes off. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Wayfinder, and listen now.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Real Radio 104.1.
The game of magnets, taking over the world one terrible person at a time.
Songs over and over. Come hang out with us in the world's most viral newsroom. Wait till you hear what we're going to talk about next. That's really the whole thing about this show. Wait till you hear what we talk about next. Learn more about the show over on the website, thenewsjunkie.com. What an amazing time. This whole Artemis mission, watching NASA pull off this unbelievable feat. I know a lot of you guys who were crapping all over this are like, oh, we did this way back in the day. We already did all this stuff. Blah, 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 blah. We didn't even land on the moon this time. Still incredibly impressive. The only thing that stood out to me and I go, is this going to be a problem? Was I did see the Artemis II team, which they picked some phenomenal astronauts. They seem like really great people. They didn't take the bait from the cable news losers who were trying to drag the astronauts into like talking about Trump or whatever political thing they wanted to get them into. The astronauts were on point. They were like, here's what we're here for. They were showcasing their personalities, of which they all have unique personalities. They were very, very good. And what an amazing, amazing thing. But I did see one thing and I go, oh, I wonder if that's going to fuel any conspiracies. Because I thought to myself, maybe this will shut up some of the moon landing losers, the people who deny this stuff to try to have some semblance of a personality in their personality-less world. And I go, this is great. Look at them go. They're flying around the moon. They got iPhones. And then I see, oh, they're now telling the world, the astronauts are telling the world that, hey, we took a class where we learned how to take pictures of the moon. And we even flew around a fake moon when we were learning to take pictures of it for when we got up into space.
What?
And I go, that's all the conspiracy theorists need. All they need is to know that
really had that fake moon ready, didn't you?
Yeah, where's that fake moon? This is probably pictures of the fake moon. And this is what did it last time, I'm pretty sure. Like there was some staged moon photos. and those were for publicity things. I believe that's how it happened. And those got out there and they go, this was done in a Hollywood studio, man. And when I saw this, I said, oh, they're going to do it all over again, aren't they? Here's the NASA pilot for Artemis II, Victor Glover.
We did an integrated science, the close pass, that 45 minutes where we're flying by them. It's really 3 hours. But the 45 minutes where we're close, we got in the mock-up in Building 9 and like nudged up to the windows. We had real cameras. We had headsets on trying to record on the tablets, saying what we see, describing it, talking to the ground. We integrated all of that. And at the end of it, the team was like, those descriptions were great. You know, and it wasn't so much that like they thought we did a good job, even though we're not scientists. It was that they reminded us, because they've told us before. But
so he's talking about how they had this setup with a fake Orion capsule, which obviously, I mean, is anybody crazy enough to think they wouldn't test this out and have like a stand-in for the capsule that these guys were? They're gonna be in there for 10 days. They have to be in a fake version. Yeah, they have to train. It would actually be unhinged if they didn't train. It would be ridiculous.
I'm sure they train in the real capsule for certain things.
Yeah, they have to familiarize themselves with all these things. And then they don't want them to screw up. So they put a fake moon in the center of this room, and they faked that they were going around the moon to take some photographs of it so that they can all learn how we can take the best shots of the moon. And people will run with that. They'll go, oh, see, the whole thing is fake. Those are the photos you're seeing. It was a fake movie and a prop. Like, oh, God.
Why?
Here we go.
Was there such a focus on the astronauts being able to take a photo from inside the capsule and not just like a couple lenses that were outside?
I thought about that, too. I was like, why wouldn't they just... I guess they can't put cameras on the exterior, obviously.
They have some, but they can't put the best cameras on the exterior.
Why not?
Because of the pressure from takeoff and when they come back.
All of the equipment that goes up there has to be approved and has to be tested pretty rigorously by NASA to ensure that it will survive up there. It'll survive going through certain radiation if there is any. And for the longest time, they had a camera that was like probably at least a decade old, if not more, that was the main camera that they used. And then,
really?
Yeah, and for no other reason than nobody suggested using a better camera. And this time around, they were like, hey, maybe we should upgrade our camera situation. Maybe we should get some iPhones up there and approve more things. So the stuff that can go on the outside of the capsule probably has a lot more wear and tear on it than the stuff that's going to be in the inside. Long story short, you're going to get the best camera. You're going to get the best picture from the camera that's allowed to be inside the capsule than outside.
But they're astronauts. They're not photographers. So, of course, they're going to put them through a little course, and they'll go, here's how the camera works. Here's how you can get a great shot. Hey, just so you know, we're spending billions of dollars sending these humans back to the moon. We might as well get some sweet-ass photos of it, right? Like, of course, all this stuff is so obvious to me.
And I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing, just based on the technology that was available at the time, that last time they took a picture of Earthrise, they had to wait till all the astronauts got back to develop the film, whereas now it's just like
digital. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just send it back. Yeah. Like, probably last time, considering that, C-Lane, probably last time they go, boy, I sure hope I didn't screw something up and miss the photograph.
They're all blurry. Overexposure. Could you imagine?
It's like there was a time when I had a friend who got married, and at their wedding they did the thing where they put the little disposable cameras on all of the tables.
Yep.
And they told everybody at the wedding, this is a true story. They said, take the disposable camera and take a bunch of pictures, and then we'll have all of them afterwards as like a classic way to remember our wedding. It's a pretty common thing, I think, that people do now. And
wasn't common enough to me the time I went to one of those weddings.
Oh, you may have screwed it up the exact way I'm about to explain. What they did, I guess, was when they put the little disposable Kodak cameras on everybody's tables, they put a note card on the front of the camera with a couple extra details about, hey, here's where you can put the camera when you're done. make sure you get some photographs of you and your friends at the table and those kind of things. And like half the people at the wedding didn't take the card off the front of the camera and just took pictures of the card. So, like,
okay,
the front of the camera has the card.
That is wild.
so
you
I'm
didn't
sure
look at the camera
to just grab them and start clicking the button and then roll to the next picture. I'm sure there was some moments where they go, please tell me you didn't screw this up and we have to send you back to space.
I screwed it up in a totally different way. I thought I had not been to a lot of weddings at this time. I think I was 19. Mm-hmm. And I had not seen this gimmick before of the disposable cameras at the tables. I thought free camera. I thought
you just took the cameras?
Yeah. No, I took the one that was at our table and I was like, guys, I got a free camera.
Cool. Who doesn't want one of these right now? God almighty. What's funny now is those things are now worth a bunch of money. Like they're classic and people pay a lot for them. It's like the Polaroids. When Polaroids were out, people go, these things are kind of crappy, but they're quick, so let's go for it. And now there's only one factory still making the things that you're supposed to either shake or not shake when the picture develops from the Polaroid camera. And they're crazy expensive. Like it's very, very expensive. So you can go, oh, you're taking it with a digital camera? No.
I have my Polaroid.
I have my Polaroid. Another thing that happened this week was there was an impromptu, or at least it seemed that way, a press conference from Melania Trump.
I knew there was an announcement about it, and because I saw some people that were posting on socials about it, and I was like, oh, this is weird that just Melania. Have we had a just Melania press conference?
Not that
ever?
many. I mean, she does some, but not that many. And she came out and she was talking about the Epstein stuff, and some people were suggesting maybe there's a report on the way or something she's trying to get ahead of this weekend.
I never been friends with Epstein. Donald and I were invited to the same parties as Epstein from time to time, since overlapping in social circles is common in New York City and Palm Beach.
And when you're rich.
To be clear, I never had a relationship with Epstein or his accomplice, Maxwell. My email reply to Maxwell,
Ghislaine Maxwell,
cannot be categorized as anything more than casual correspondence.
So the thought there was like, hey, is this her finally pushing back? Because, I mean, there's some people who go, well, she just does this out of nowhere. Guys, it's not out of nowhere. I mean, obviously, there's been an incessant talk of Trump connected to Epstein, Melania connected to Epstein. Here's what was in the Epstein files. They're in a photo together. Clearly, they went to the, obviously, it's not in a vacuum. It's not coming from nowhere. It's a response to something. But why now? And then you go, is there going to be some sort of article that gets released? Because this does happen sometimes. You have a newspaper working on an article. They start calling around and trying to get quotes and stuff. And then the people who are involved in it, like the people who are the target of the article or the hit piece, even in some cases, they know it's coming. So they want to get out ahead of it. I don't know if that's what's happening here or if they're just trying to go on the offense. But that was one of the things that happened this week because Melania Trump went out to the microphone and started talking about she doesn't know Ghislaine Maxwell, doesn't know Epstein, had no knowledge of anything that was going on with this guy. And Congress should work to go after anybody who did, and et cetera, et cetera. So we'll take your thoughts on that. Let us know what you thought if you saw that and all the rest. Send us what we call a dispatch. That's your recorded message. Record your thoughts over at thenewsjunkie.com and fire it off over to us. Pew. And for or against, to want to talk about something else, you are welcome to join in as long as it's good content, as long as you have an interesting take on things. Fire it off over at thenewsjunkie.com. Alternatively, if you're a little shy, send an email. If you want to be anonymous, put it on top. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. TIPS at thenewsjunkie.com. Speaking of that, a couple of emails to start us off here. Daniel emails the show about the hooker case. He's talking about the hookers in Hopetown. This was the couple that was in Hopetown in the Bahamas. They were on their sailboat, and the husband of the hooker family says that his wife fell into the water. I have got some crazy twist that I'll tell you at the top of the hour in about 20 minutes or so. But right now, this is the latest on this from Daniel. He says, I agree this story seems fishy, but let's flip the script and visit Crazy Town for just a tick. Everybody keeps saying, it sounds like he did it. But what if she did it? Says Daniel. Hear me out. What if this lady is legit crazy, picks fights every time her husband drinks, and posts weird things about getting pushed into a pool? I mean, she posted those. So on a stormy night, she does a sleeping with the enemy and falls into the water. She disappears either into a new life or just away from this one and frames her husband for murder in the process. Brilliant. Or maybe that's just a 420 style thought. Once a news junkie, always a news junkie. Game of Magnets forever, says Daniel. Daniel, I mean, I'm gonna do it to you because I do it to everybody. That was just a complete work of fiction that you made up in your head. People do this sort of like fanfic stuff where they go, what if the wife was doing X, Y, Z? And you stack it up so high that you go, I need to remind you that you are basing none of this on reality or any kind of facts that we know so far. Could it be true? Yes. Could it also be true that an alien impregnated this guy's wife and she turned into a giant botfly and flew off to a spacecraft just outside of the reach of Artemis II and then pulled into the Nebular galaxy? Sure, but I mean, there's nothing to suggest that's the case. But thank you for the email regardless. Trevor says, tipsofthenewsjunkie.com. Not sure if you saw this or not, but NASA released it in the same week as the Artemis launch. They canceled the launch pad project for the next Artemis mission. They were building a $240 million mobile launch pad for future missions. The latest price had been over $2.4 billion for this project that's almost complete, and they pulled the plug on it. To put it in perspective, SpaceX is spending about $1.8 billion to be a new complete launch and retrieve facility and a new gigafactory about the size of the VAB. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but the difference in government money and private money and what you get in return is mind-blowing, says T. Thank you for the email. Appreciate that. All right. When we come back, we'll get into more of Artemis 2 on the way back. What's happening? How fast is it going to be going? What are the astronauts going to experience? Et cetera, et cetera. Some wild details. And those are coming up next on the News Junkie. Hello. I had to interrupt myself for copyright reasons. Was forced to interrupt myself for copyright reasons. All right, folks. Hello, YouTube. Hello, Twitch. Somebody says, Kamala Harris attempts to impersonate Trump as a mob boss. Okay, let me see. Haven't heard it yet. Kamala Harris at an event just now attempting to impersonate Trump as a mob boss.
Well, he's pulled back because, you know, the way that he's thinking of foreign policy, it seems, is when he talks about America first, it's to withdraw from these relationships and these connections. And then he kind of acts like a mob boss. So then he's kind of like, well, you know, you take Eastern Europe and I'll take the Western Hemisphere. And then you over there, you get Asia. And we'll just divide it up. Right? Instead of
That was the most nondescript mob accent I've ever heard in my life. Could have been like, on the day of my daughter's wedding. How much of the starships? How much at the starships that they exploded 4 or 5 of? Back to the drawing board with that comment. I can't make heads or tails of it. How much did they spend on the starships that they blew up? Damn. That's a real indictment on this SpaceX company. How many of their rockets did they blow up on the way to making themselves what will probably be one of the most valuable companies in the history of planet Earth,
on the way to perfecting a process that now makes them maybe even more adept at launching satellites and even humans into space and into orbit. I mean, yeah, they definitely screwed up by blowing those things up on the way to becoming an incredibly successful operation. SpaceX sucks! What does that take even? How much did they spend blowing stuff up? You blow stuff up to learn things. True. "90 seconds and we're back live." When is Artemis planned to splash down? This evening. I'll tell you everything about it, how fast it's going to be going, all of that good stuff in just a second here. All right, stand by. Pop this in. Okay, no weekend edition here. Okay, no weekend edition here because I want to do the stuff about the NASA thing that will have been done at that point in time, but top of the hour we'll do a segment. All right, folks, we're coming back live right now. Here we go.
Refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Hi, I'm Martin Luther King III.
And I'm Andrea Waters King. April is National Volunteer Month, the perfect time to turn intention into action.
We are inviting you to join Realize the Dream, our national movement to complete 100 million hours of service by my father's 100th birthday in 2029.
Whether you volunteer with friends, help out in your neighborhood, or take on a new project, every act of service counts.
Let's make history together. Visit realizethedream.org and join the movement today.
Klausman, KlausmanLaw.com. That's KLAUSMAN.
Where common sense meets complete nonsense. This is the news.
Most viral newsroom, and I'm so excited to tell you some of the craziest details about Artemis II coming back in a matter of hours, like literally in a matter of hours. In a matter of hours, Artemis II from NASA will be headed back to Earth. How fast will it be going, you ask? Well, I don't know. I'm assuming that's one of the things you might care about here, but how fast will it be going? 25,000 miles per hour as it re-enters the Earth's atmosphere.
Oh, that's it?
That's crazy. 25,000 miles per hour is how fast this thing is going.
Saw on the news this morning that the G-forces will be something 3.9, so almost 4 times your own body weight pressing down on you their entire ride back.
So they feel like, how many more is that than the experience that a lot of people get when they're kids in going on the Gravitron? The Gravitron. Did you guys go on the Gravitron ride at the fair when you were kids?
And you're on the wall?
Yeah, it spins and it pushes you up against the side of the ride, and then you kind of slide up and down. And when you're a kid, you're like, this is incredible. And they're doing, multiples of that stuck feeling that you get?
So they're saying Gravitron typically generates approximately 2.5 to 3 Gs of force.
Okay, 2.5 to 3. And then how much was the entry? How many Gs?
3.9, I thought. So now it doesn't seem like crazy.
they're simulating it versus they are, trust me, they're not able to move when they're coming in at 25,000 miles per hour. And beyond that, Sabrina, these astronauts are coming in at a blazing 25,000 miles per hour, and then they slow down to 17 miles per hour. So they can plop into the ocean.
They're going to go through the windshield.
They're going to do it a little slower than you might imagine, Sealand. So they'll hit the brakes just a very slow way here. But over the past 8, 9, 10 days, these astronauts have been out there and kind of grabbing a lot of people's attention. They're going to splash down off the coast of San Diego, California at about 8:07 p.m. Eastern Time. The capsule will re-enter the atmosphere at 25,000 miles per hour. It'll slow down to about 17 miles per hour. This is without a doubt, and I told you this prior to this, and some people were like, Sean's fear-mongering, because sometimes people are dumb. But the fact is, this will easily be the most dangerous part of the mission. It is more dangerous than when you take off. It is more dangerous than actually launching off into space. It is more dangerous than doing the whoop-de-woo around the moon and starting to head back. Is the process of re-entering Earth's atmosphere at 25,000 miles per hour.
The mere fact that you called it a whoop-de-woo leads me to believe that that was among the less dangerous parts.
Clearly, that and NASA probably uses that same exact
Go for
lingo.
whoop-de-woo.
Do the whoop-de-woo now. Here we go.
Mission ops. Go for whoop-de-woo.
So it's exciting. It's going to be about 14 minutes that it takes from the time that they start entering the atmosphere to the time they find themselves on the ground. The capsule that these astronauts are in will heat up to about 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit. This will conclude a flight where I want you to think about this. All right? Think about this a little bit. Sealand, I need some math. All right? I need some math because we need to figure out how impressive this was. How many miles does the average American travel in a year? Just like, average American miles traveled per year. And I'm talking about like car and all that, not just walking or anything, which would be much less impressive.
The average American travels approximately 13 to 14,000 miles per year. 13,000 to 14,500.
Let's take the high end. Let's take 14,500 miles per year. Average American lifespan is what? 86, I'm guessing. I don't know. I can look that up while you do the math here. Average American lifespan. And it's getting better and better, folks, all the time. 81 years for women and 76 years for men.
Yikes.
Let's shoot the gap there. Let's go 78.5. So 14,500 times 78.5. And what do we get? That's how many miles we travel in our entire lifetime.
1.13 million miles.
Okay, so we usually travel 1.13 million miles in our lifetime here on planet Earth. I'll remind you, this is more than any other humans before us because we drive more every year than any other humans before us. So other humans in the past obviously didn't have vehicles. They didn't go anywhere near as far. But through the course of our lifetimes, we go about 1.13 million miles. These astronauts have just completed a 685,000-mile flight, right? It's farther than most people will go, in 600 lifetimes, right? I guess, right? I mean, so wait, hold on.
No.
685,000 miles. So it's about half of what people go through in their entire life.
A little more than half.
Yeah, a little more than half of
by
what
our
do.
math.
They just did it in 10 days. Okay? Think about that for a second. In 10 days, they went halfway what you will go in a vehicle, moving around, all of that stuff in your entire life. I like the Sean math. I'm on top of things generally. I'm looking at I thought it said 685 million miles. 685,000 miles is how far they just went, obviously, round the moon and back. And in your entire life, you go about 1.13 million. So it's incredible.
Accepted. Okay.
Yeah, try to put up numbers better than that if you can. And I don't need to hear from the semi-truck drivers who like, man, I do way more than that. I'm driving a semi with 1 million miles on the dash right now. And I get it. But most people go in their entire lifetime about 1.13 million miles. And these people went 685,000 in a week and some change. So that's quite crazy to consider. There we go. They're on their way back. 14 minutes the journey is. They're ending their 685,000-mile flight. It began 10 days ago on the Florida coast. It's going to end this evening in California. Their ship will get up to 5,000 degrees. It'll go 25,000 miles per hour.
Not on the inside.
On the outside and hopefully not on the inside. On the outside and hopefully not on the inside, for sure. Okay, we'll see what you think about all of this, but that's exciting, and we'll see what the astronauts have to say when they come back down. That's all coming up in just a bit on the show. When we return, though, we have to get into it. I got big updates, including some jaw droppers on this couple and the murder mystery in the Bahamas. The hookers in Hopetown. The Hooker family went out on a sailboat and ended up with the wife in the water, still missing, presumed dead. The husband suspected of this death as if it was a big plan, and him defending himself, saying, I had nothing to do with it, right? And now, one of the new details in particular that I saw had my jaw on the floor. I'll give you the latest in the Bahamas murder mystery that's coming up next on the News Junkie.
From the
Hello. MFQ said, did they give a reason why they don't splash down near Florida? I'm going to assume it was a timing thing, right? So in my 21 years, my commute to work is only 84,000? Not even close. It's the world of averages, cat butthole. It is the world of averages. So you've probably gone further than many. Man, this Bahamas murder mystery update, there's one thing that I was like, oh, magnifique. That's coming up next. We remain on shaky ground, everybody. We remained on shaky ground with our ceasefire agreement with Iran. In fact, just moments ago, this came across. Trump says the results of talks with Iran will be clear in about 24 hours. We're going to know soon. Trump said we have a reset going. We're loading up the ships with the best ammunition, even at a higher level than we used to do a complete dissemination. So this is like another threat to Iran. You better get your shit together. Because, I mean, it is one thing that is deranged, I will tell you. It is absolutely deranged that Iran believes the Strait of Hormuz, which is this passage where all these ships go, oil ships, all these other ships, that just happens to be located near Iran, between Iran and Oman. Remember that one. Between Iran and Oman, this sliver of water, Iran has allegedly been only accepting ships through the Strait of Hormuz if they pay a $2 million Bitcoin bounty. How crazy is that? Only allowing ships to travel through a passage of land, or to a passage of water, I should say. Only allowing these ships to travel through this passage of water if they pay a $2 million Bitcoin bounty to Iran. Which, for you losers interested in international law, which should care to precisely zero people, because international law is a stupid pretend thing. But to the people who care about that kind of thing, is 100% against international law. $2 million and in Bitcoin. Iran wants to be paid in Bitcoin. Back in just a couple of minutes with the Bahamas murder mystery update. travel through the Strait of Hormuz? I mean, here's the thing. What you have here is Iran doesn't have a lot of cards to play. That's the one kicker card that they're going to play. So they're going to play it as hard as they possibly can. And if they piss off Trump enough, he may say, we'll just take over the whole thing. Taking Bitcoin or yuan serves to, I lost it. Some about devalue the petrodollar, I'm sure. Nobody's talking about the gays of Hormuz lately. True. Taking Bitcoin is done purposely so they won't be able to track the transaction on ledgers and other things like that mostly. Folks, we're coming back in just a couple of minutes. Again, I got that big bombshell in the Bahamas murder mystery thing, which is crazy as hell. When Trump said no one knew they were going to shut down the Strait of Hormuz, it was a sign he's not fit for office. Did he actually say that? Do you have a quote where he said nobody knew they were going to shut down the Strait of Hormuz? Or are you just saying that? Because he may have. I have no idea. I mean, Trump says so many things on any given day, it's hard to tell. But if he said that, well, of course, anybody who knows anything about Iran or how the global politics work knows that that would have been definitely a strategy that Iran would use. So, where is that coming from? Let me know. You might be right. I just haven't seen the quote. What about the hookers of Hopetown? Oh, that's coming up right now. It's coming up right now. All right, an update on the woman missing, presumed dead in the Bahamas. Lynette Hooker. Wait till you hear this.
Podcast network iHeart. Follow Mostly Human and start listening on the free iHeart Radio app today.
For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human. Send him your tips and your deepest, darkest secrets. Email tips@thenews.
Newsroom. Learn more about the show over on the website, thenewsjunkie.com. We got a lot to get into here. And one of the things I wanted to talk about was an update to the Bahamas murder mystery. Is it too early for me to be saying murder mystery since technically I think the woman that's part of this couple, this wife, I think she's technically just still missing?
Well, no, they've charged somebody with well, they've arrested somebody. Were there formal charges?
The Bahamian police have arrested him. Whether or not the charges have come down yet is kind of unclear. And I do have some unbelievable new twists and turns in this story.
As far as the husband goes, he's hoping she's on a little island. So I don't know if we could say murder yet.
He did mention that. Yes, Sabrina. He said, I hope she's on a little island somewhere. But for those of you just tuning in or not knowing what's going on here, let me give you this case in a nutshell. You have this family, they're a couple, Lynette Hooker is 55 years old, and Brian Hooker is 58 years old. And the Hookers were in the Bahamas on their sailboat. They were in an area that we've all been to called Hopetown, a beautiful little spot, very small place. Not a lot of people who go to the Bahamas go to Hopetown, but it's a great place to go and
I don't think
relax.
there are no cruise stops in the Abaco. Well, I take that back because I think maybe
Not
one
in
of,
Hopetown that I know of.
Not in that area, but the Abacos is that general, like, that's kind of, if the Bahamas were divided into states, you know, the Abacos is the overall area where that is. I think I take that back because I think one of Disney's cruise islands is in that Abacos area. But needless to say, you're not going to Elbow Key or Hopetown on most of those kind of, it's not a tourist destination.
No. Not like, people have to know to go there a lot of times. And they had a sailboat. They were sailors. And so they knew about this and they wanted to go there and they went there on their sailboat. And they were kind of doing this thing where they pretended to be social media influencers. There was nobody really watching their videos on YouTube or TikTok or the other platforms, but they were doing it.
Facebook,
probably having fun.
Instagram, Twitter, y'all
posting
see
the
this?
content that they were posting as they were traveling around on their sailboat. Now, the weather was bad on Saturday in the Bahamas, and they got on, and I kid you not, an 8-foot dinghy. That's the boat that they were on. It's about 8 feet long, shorter than your couch in some cases. You know, like a extended bathtub with a little outboard motor. And in the middle of a storm, bad weather, winds, choppy waves, they got on an 8-foot dinghy and set off to go back to their sailboat. And it wasn't until the next morning that anybody knew anything went wrong. So the timeline, as I see it, is somewhere around 10 p.m.-ish at night is where they went missing. They left on this dinghy, the husband and wife, the Hooker family. Lynette Hooker and Brian Hooker went on this 8-foot dinghy to try to get back to their sailboat around 10 or 11 o'clock at night. He didn't show up until 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning because he said that his wife had fallen out of this dinghy into the water and taken the keys with her, and that he had to row back. So there's like 7 hours unaccounted for in this case. Now, here are the interesting tidbits that I think we have learned about this. Number one, they found what they believed was Lynette Hooker's life preserver, or at least a life preserver that her husband said he threw at her when she allegedly, according to him, fell off the boat. That's one thing. They found a life preserver. They did not find her. They did not find any cellular devices. They did not find any shoes. They didn't find anything else. They looked and they did not find anything else. And they certainly didn't find Lynette Hooker. They didn't find her in the water as well. So that they did find at least the life preserver. That was one thing. And they're still searching as of this moment, but there is quite a bit of time that he has to account for. I bring that time up because we don't know what happened in that time. We don't know where he was. When you look at cases like the case of Lacey Peterson, right, and the story out of California where Lacey Peterson went missing and, you know, her husband was like, I had nothing to do with this. And then they look into it and they go, hey, hang on. You actually had this big giant block of time where you drove way far away from your house and got on a boat and went out to this area, and we can see you on camera out here. And then it just so happens that this place way far away from your house is where we ended up finding Lacey Peterson's body. Boy, ain't that a coincidence. And so filling in those time gaps is a really big deal in cases like this. What happened with Lynette Hooker and Brian Hooker between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. when he ended up showing up and saying, hey, my wife is missing? All right, that's one of the big questions. Now, we do know, and this is one of the crazy new twists, is the husband in this case, Brian Hooker, when the authorities from the Bahamas went to go visit him, he's on his boat, and the Bahamian police show up, and they say, Mr. Hooker? And he goes, yes. And they said, we need you to put your hands up. You are under arrest. We're going to bring you in for questioning about the disappearance of your wife. And he says, okay, I will work with you guys. I'll talk to you. And the husband puts his hands out in front of him, and they cuff him. They put handcuffs on the husband. And they go, all right, Brian Hooker, we're bringing you in. We want to know what happened to Lynette. As the Bahamian authorities are attempting to pull him off of his boat with the handcuffs on, he falls off the boat into the ocean, handcuffed.
Oh,
no.
Really?
And true story. And they said the guy, he too fell off the sailboat and went into the water, handcuffs in front of him. And at first I thought, oh, okay, that is a crazy little twist in this story. And then I thought, if this man was so interested in killing his wife and wasn't just joking about it as his wife's daughter had said he had in the past, throwing her overboard, if he really did want to plan all this stuff out and he was that meticulous about making sure he had all of his ducks in the row before he tried to kill off his wife, if he did that, maybe he would take it to the next level and fall off of his boat, and then in court he'd be able to be like, look, falling off a boat is very easy. I fell off the boat when the Bahamian authorities arrived to arrest me, and I was handcuffed at the time. True story. There's a dark irony as the husband of the U.S. woman who went missing from the dinghy in the Bahamas falls overboard into the ocean during his arrest.
They pulled him out of the water, and he goes, this is just happening left and right.
It's dangerous over here. Yeah, it's a true story. Yeah, the husband also fell overboard, and they're saying that it was because he was like cuffed and whatever. Here's some of the details really quickly. Brian Hooker, 59, fell into the water while handcuffed on Wednesday, which left him injured. That was the day after he was arrested in connection with the disappearance of his wife, 55-year-old Lynette Hooker. He was wearing a life vest and floundered under the water until police brought him back onto the boat, his attorney told Fox News. The boat was knocked by rough waters, and Hooker was unable to hold on. The attorney said his client has suffered, quote, some knee pain and abrasions, was taken to a local hospital for treatment. And I said, could that have been coincidental? Is that totally accidental that he's like, whoa, the waters out here are so rough, even I could fall off. Whoa. Yeah. And he too falls into the ocean in the Bahamas. That seems a little, I mean, there's so much about this that seems fishy, but that absolutely seems like a fishy thing.
I think the guy is way more confident in all of his actions and words and Facebook posts than he actually is. Like, everyone can see right through what you're doing, dude.
Let's take a look at that. Here's the voicemail that he sent to her daughter. Yeah. Lynette Hooker's daughter got this voicemail from Brian Hooker after his wife had fallen off of the boat. Let's listen in. Let's see what we can get from his voice, from the story that he says. Here he is. Here's his voicemail.
Hello, honey. I just got a call from Booktown Search and Rescue, and I found a flotation device that I threw to Mom when she fell overboard, and so they haven't found her yet, but they can now focus all of their efforts in a smaller area, and they're still out there searching today. So I just wanted to update you and let you know. I love you. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
All right, there he is. This is the message he left for the woman's daughter. And he was not her biological father, as far as I'm aware. The daughter is very sus. She is like, hey, I'm so suspicious of what this guy's doing in his behavior and things he's done in the past. And when he would drink, they would fight a lot, and lots of different things coming from the daughter that say that she's suspicious about what happened here. But that's the voicemail that he left for her. He fell into the ocean himself. We also learned that in, I think, 2012, there was a domestic disturbance between the two of them, between the Hooker couple that are at the center of all of this in the Bahamas.
Hooker fight!
The police showed up for the Hooker family fight. And when the police showed up, they both accused the other of hitting them and pushing them, et cetera, et cetera. The police could not figure out who did what because it was literally a he said, she said, which is strangely enough the exact case we find ourselves in now, except for it's
minus the she said.
He said, she dead is the situation we find ourselves in. She can't speak for herself, obviously. But in that case, in 2012, I believe, with the domestic violence incident between the two of them, they both claimed that the other had hit them and attacked them.
No one was arrested?
No one was arrested. She was removed from the scene by the police officers. So the police did take her away. They did take her away from the scene and suggest maybe they thought she was an aggressor possibly in this. But the charges were dropped shortly after the case was dismissed and everything faded away. So just a couple other irons to throw in the fire on what is a weird case. I know some people think, oh, this is just simple. I know exactly what happened here. Do you? And what do we really know? What did really happen here? Will they find her body? Will we learn anything more about this? Will this guy, if he did it, get away with killing his wife in this incredibly planned out, meticulous, perhaps, way? I want to know what you think about this story. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com right now. All right, we'll get into more of those in a moment.
They said when he fell, he was trying to hold a bundle of clothing in his hands that were already handcuffed.
Yep.
Which seems weird that they would make him hold his own bundle of clothing while handcuffed and getting off a boat. But if he were to want to also take a fall into the ocean just to show how easy it is,
right?
Very easy. They made it very easy for him to do so.
We can ask Moses about this at some point in time, but I wonder how far forward lawyers think about things, because this guy's got an attorney, right? And imagine this. Imagine he goes, I understand what's going to happen here. Eventually, there's going to be a court case, whether in the United States from the federal authorities who are investigating what happened in the Bahamas or from the Bahamian police investigating themselves. There's going to be a court case. There's going to be an investigation. And they're going to say that my wife fell off the boat. Isn't that strange? I didn't fall off the boat. And if his answer is, look, it's easy to fall off the boat. The waves were really bad. The weather was really bad. In fact, it was much calmer a couple of days later when the Bahamian authorities came to arrest me, and I, too, fell off of the boat. Do you think I did that on purpose? No, that's just how easy it is to fall off in weather like this. I don't know if that was premeditated or not, but it sure is convenient as far as the story goes. Let us know what you think. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. Quick break. When we come back, I still have the text messages sent by the husband, and they're pretty juicy. I've got the text messages sent by the husband. We'll do that after This Week in Florida coming up. Also, something else that he blamed for his wife falling overboard. But when we return, some predictions for the 1970s. Back in 1978, a journalist wrote down what they thought things were going to look like in 2026. Well, we find ourselves there. Let's peek at it and see how right or wrong this person was. We'll run through the list. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Have you ever been come on to by someone real?
Hello. Welcome to the show. If my wife were missing, I wouldn't think to get an attorney. What do we think about that, chat? If somebody's wife is missing and they get an attorney, do you think it makes them look guilty? Does getting an attorney when your wife is still technically missing make you look guilty? Yes or no, chat? What do we think about that? Does that make you look guilty? Yes or no? Damn, I want to go on a cruise again now? Can he be charged for this in America? Yes, Zach. The feds are investigating this case right now. So there could be federal charges brought up against him, I believe. And in the Bahamas, obviously, they're investigating because that's where it happened. And the water is next to the Bahamas. Strait of Hormel. Yes, you say? Yes, immediate red flag? If you're rich and immediately ask for an attorney, you're seen as smart. If you're poor, you're seen as guilty. True. That is absolutely true. If you're some two-toothed yokel in a holler in West Virginia, and they say, we think you killed your sister, pal, and they bring you in, and you're like, I don't know. I think I need an attorney. People are going to go, this dude killed his sister. If you are a businessman with a briefcase and a suit, and you go in and you go, gentlemen, I'm here to hear what you have to say today, and they lay out something against you, and he goes, it sounds to me that you are suspecting me of this heinous crime that I did not commit. Therefore, before we proceed, I'd like to have my attorney present for any further questioning. You're like, damn! Boss move! You mean his wife because his sister is his wife? Solid West Virginia accent? I nailed it. Yeah, I nailed it. I think when it's a missing wife, the husband is always suspect number one. Stupid to not get an attorney, innocent or guilty. That is usually the case. Woman goes missing, husband's the number one suspect. But I ask you, is that fair? Is it fair if a woman goes missing that the husband's the suspect? Because isn't the husband the person who is responsible a lot of the time? West Virginian checking in here. Was I right on or what? Did I get it? Oh, I think I should get an attorney. Which is, by the way, better than that epic Mitsubishi commercial before the show. Mitsubishi! The guy doesn't even say Mitsubishi right. He said Mitsubishi. This is so intense. There's like sirens raining down. And it doesn't matter if you've been bankrupt, Chapter 11, Chapter 7. You've had 14 cars repoed. If your friend's poo shiesty and you're in prison right now, we're going to get you a new car. That commercial is unhinged. They always rule out the spouse when one is missing. True. If Courtney never makes it back from Publix, it was Sean. Oh, I don't know. I'd say I have a pretty good alibi. You guys were here with me. The tidbit says the time. So does the studio TV. I'm accounted for. 90 seconds and we're back. No way they suspect the spouse, but they don't make it apparent. They let the spouse slip up on their story. I watched it happen to an old school buddy about a month ago. They let him run free for months and got him. That is true. They do that. Like, they're not going to let you know that they think you did it. They're going to go, oh my God, we're grieving with you in this tough time. Now, we just need a couple of details from you. Did your friend do it, Chaos? Did he do the murder or whatever it was? All right, we're coming back. Austin! Austin!
Want your windows there in weeks? Pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Win $25,000 in new impact windows from Reese Windows. Pick up your phone and text the word TRUST right now to 20129. That's TRUST to 20129.
April is prime sports time.
Launches a three. Got it.
And iHeartRadio has you locked in. Start your day with Fox Sports Radio's Dan Patrick, getting you caught up on the biggest stories.
You got some interesting scenarios here.
Then find your favorite baseball team hitting the diamond.
Grand slam from Mookie Betts.
Or dive into mock draft season with NFL Daily.
We know Mendoza's going number one. Who do you have at number two?
From NBA and NHL playoffs to the draft podium, we've got you covered. Open the iHeartRadio app, search sports, and listen now.
What's your case worth? Injury.com by Morgan & Morgan.
A safe haven of sorts for all of the 95%ers. This is
Newsroom. And I've got this story. A journalist in 1978 tried to predict what 2026 would look like. How far off were they, or did they nail it? I'll go over the list in just a second. Quick note for you. Secret Shows is up and available all the time for you, uncensored over on thenewsjunkie.com. Unlock Secret Shows episodes. Enjoy a little more extra content on the weekends. And Decilane just built and launched the first TV app for Secret Shows. So if you have an Apple TV, you can go into the App Store and search for Secret Shows, log into your account. You can watch all the shows on there. You can even stream the shows right there on the app when they're live. You can watch along live with what's going on in beautiful, crystal clear, 1080p or whatever. It's amazing, and it's totally free for Secret Show subscribers. So if you have an Apple TV and you're a Secret Show subscriber, search for Secret Shows and download the app and log in so you can have that right there on the big screen. Very, very cool. And that's coming soon to all the other TV platforms where you might have a smart app so everybody can watch along. It's another bonus of being a subscriber. Let me get into this. I got to bring up the original article if I can, because this was an article from the 1970s. And the journalist at the time was making predictions on what things would look like from the Bristol Herald Courier. And they had predictions of what things would look like in 2026. And here's some of the things that they said. All right. They said a $15 pair of shoes. So in 1978, a pair of shoes was $15. Okay. $15 for a pair of shoes. In 2026, they predicted that shoes would cost $240. Is that, I mean, that might be a little high, I think. You know, I don't think shoes cost $240. Some of them do, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
the collectors, the sneakerheads, they're paying that money.
Average shoe in 2026, what is it, $80?
I'd say. I just bought some nice boots for $100 recently, and I'm going to return them because I hate how they squeak every time I walk.
Average shoe cost 2026. Like, it would have to be.
I'm looking up,
$80.
Skechers, $80, $90.
Well, what are you wearing?
Men's Vigor, $50.
Yeah.
I'm wearing Brooks.
How much are Brooks?
I don't know. I think they're probably average cost, right? Brooks shoes. I'll look on Amazon. I think they're just like regular ass shoes. $150 or something.
Okay, there we go. They're not too far off.
$120. So let's say around 100. I think 100 might be fair. I don't know if that's the average or not, but let's say a pair of shoes is $100. I don't think an average shoe costs $240 for sure. That's like a mega high-end shoe right now, at least in the men's shoe world.
Looks like the shoes I'm wearing are about $60.
$60? Oh, because you're on the lower end. You could get them all over the place. And I'm just trying to shoot for the average. And here's a pair of Brooks for $89. You know, there's like different prices all over the place. The biggest ripoff is the ones for little kids, because despite the fact that Jackson, Celane's son, takes shoes that are like this comically tiny little size shoes, and they're still almost the same price as a full size pair of shoes.
We were on our way to a park, like a playground, to meet up with some friends and let the kids run around. And we realized we did not have his shoes. And we're like, we can't let him barefoot this playground and raw dog it.
You can.
So we stopped at like a Foot Locker or something. And I stayed in the car and Ashley just ran in and grabbed some bluey Crocs. And she's like, $50. $50 later, some tiny ass shoes.
Do they have invented shoes that grow with your kid at this point?
Not yet. They're not there just
Audio
yet.
trademark.
Or the spray-on shoes. I saw them trying to make those a thing for a little while. We're a little ways away from all this happening. So I think a little bit off there. They said $15 for a pair of shoes in 1978. They suspected that now in 2026 they would be $240, but not crazy off, actually. Not crazy off. It's like within the ballpark, I think. Here's one where I think they aimed and they missed. Back in 1978, a color television costs $700. They anticipated in the future, in 2026, that $700 color television would cost $11,200.
Okay.
I have news for you, friend. The TV prices went the other way. They zigged, not zagged.
Well, also, I mean, what are they thinking a color television looks like? Are they thinking of a tube television? Are they thinking that what is the size of this television going to be?
Probably big, I would think.
What was the size of a common TV in 1970? What did you say?
1978 was when they wrote this.
Probably the size of a computer monitor.
Yeah, they were not big back then. I mean, I would think smaller than 32 inches would be my guess.
Biggest TV in 1978.
Yeah, like I'm sure there were some that were a little bigger back then, but most of them were like the ones you put in your living room and you would put stuff on top of them.
Yeah, but it's not to say that there's definitely an $11,000 television you could buy today.
Right, but the average is what they were talking about. Like the equivalent of a television for the average person was $700 back then, and they thought it would be $11,200, and it ain't. Average TV's $300, $400, something probably.
This is on the high end, right? It says the biggest and most notable television in 1978 was the General Electric widescreen 1000. It was a 45-inch rear projection television.
Wow.
Often marketed as a giant screen. It was introduced in 78. It weighed over 350 pounds, and it cost $2,800 or the equivalent to $13,700 in 2025.
I'm sorry. How much did it weigh?
350 pounds.
350-pound television.
Hope you have first floor access, because absolutely not.
Basically, the commercials at the time, the commercials would have been like, it ain't going to get any bigger than this, folks. It was like a 300-pound behemoth television, 32 inches of raw mega screen.
Oh, dude, look this up.
What's it called? What am I looking up?
General Electric widescreen 1000. There's a picture of it on Reddit, and it is behemoth.
Okay, hold on. I think I've found the pictures that he's talking about. This is an eBay advertisement for it. It says, hang on, let me go full screen on the gallery. All right. It says, introducing a revolutionary big picture color television. You're looking at the new General Electric widescreen 1000, a super-sized color TV with a picture 3 times the size of a 25-inch diagonal console. A picture that makes you feel like you're at the movies. Can you imagine going over to a friend's house with like a 30-something inch television? They're like, doesn't it feel
like you're
at the movies? It's like, I really feel like I'm there. They said in this 1978 article, their prediction was that $5,000 cars in 1978 cost about $5,000 on average. They said the average car in 2026 would cost $80,000. Cars do cost $80,000, and you can hash this up a bunch of ways, but the average purchase price for a new car is not $80,000 in 2026. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to guess it's in the 30s or something. Average purchase price, 2026 car.
49 to 50,000.
Yeah, that's what I've been seeing. And 70s.
This says, as of early 2026, the average transaction price for U.S. vehicles is $49,000 or so. So even higher. I mean, but not $80,000 for the average. There are a lot of vehicles on the marketplace.
If you want the one that's in the picture, it's $80,000.
It's true. Yeah, that one's more expensive always. Yeah, this was as of like a couple of months ago. Kelley Blue Book said the average new vehicle transaction was up to $49,000, which, I mean, that's crazy even in my lifetime. Like a $49,000 vehicle when I was a kid and my parents were driving around.
That's your G-Wagon price.
$49,000. Yeah, then it would have been you go, holy cow, is that your parents' car? And now a $49,000 vehicle would be like, okay, nice little car.
Holy cow, that's your car?
Yeah. Nice.
You have those like roll-up windows?
Yeah, nice new car, but not anything crazy or shocking about this whole thing. The television back then that Celia was talking about, the GE widescreen 1000, was with a $2,800 price tag, which is the equivalent about $14,000 at the time. So, and cars were $5,000. So cars in 1978 were $5,000, but the television was $14,000. So you would have been a big D-slinger to have this thing.
Cars were $5,000 in our money or their money?
Hold on. There's too many conversions going on here.
Yeah.
Cars were $5,000 in their money. So this in their money was $2,800. So it was half the price of a car in their money at their time.
Yeah.
So at their time, it would have been like half the price of what a car cost.
Man, I wish I could get a car for half the price of a television.
Yeah. I mean, God, now that would be an interesting one. But yeah, $15 for a pair of shoes was off, or they thought it would be $240 now. $11,000 for a TV is too high. $80,000 for a car, too high, but not crazy. And the other one was they thought a worker who on average was earning $10,000 a year in 1978, they thought the average worker would be making about $160,000 by 2026.
I also think $5,000 for a car might have been on the high end in 78. I'm trying
to.
That
was a nice one? What were we getting back there for bang for our buck?
I feel like some of the numbers that I've heard from like my dad and his brothers and sister were like, our first car cost $1,000 and it didn't have seatbelts.
Yeah, my dad would be like, I bought the car for $4,000, brand new. I go, okay, wow.
And it lasted, though.
Back then, they were made out of the real deal, man. They were big steel vehicles back then. So a couple of things wrong about this, but, some of them not too far off the predictions from 1978 from this particular journalist in a story that's going viral. What do you think? Let us know. Send us a dispatch at thenewsjunkie.com right now. When we return, we will get to your dispatches. Also, I want to remind you, you can email the show at any time. It's easy to do. The email address is tips, T-I-P-S, at thenewsjunkie.com. That comes into my inbox in front of me. I want you to know, if you want to be anonymous, please put that up on top of the email. Right up on top, say, I want to be anonymous. Then I won't say your name or information. But email the show if that's more comfortable. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. When we come back, the next episode with Sabrina, what's coming up on the next episode?
What's coming up on the next episode? Amanda Bynes is back, baby, and Mario is out as in outer space and twerking on the moon. Turns out the lead singer of Pretty Reckless is pretty tasty to wild animals. Plus, we bid farewell to a hip-hop pioneer who is now planet rocking with the angels. All that and so much more coming up on the next episode.
And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan.
Hello. Welcome to the show. How are you? Good to see you. Stand by. Stand by for some breaking news. Stand by. Ladies and gentlemen, Cat Butthole with 5 gifted subs. Look at that. Unbelievable. Absolutely amazing. From the 3-point line. Cat Butthole with 5 gifted Secret Shows subs. Secret Shows live tonight. And you can access Secret Shows in the News Junkie app on Apple TV, or the Secret Shows app on Apple TV, I should say. Thank you so much. Thank you. Amazing work. It's the cat butthole that keeps on giving. So true. So true. Absolutely. Somebody go grab those. Make yourself a Secret Show subscriber. Get the Apple TV app, for God's sake. And bam, you're good to go. I'm going to ask Sealand a super secret question. Oh, he just walked away. Stand by.
With the Solar Price Rewind event, your chance to lock in the best solar prices in years. Take control of rising energy costs, boost your home's value, and enjoy clean, reliable power with Florida's most trusted solar team. With over 75,000 installations and an industry-leading 25-year warranty, SolarSource delivers experience you can count on. Get your new quote today at solarsource.com.
Subject to credit approval and down payment.
Let me get one thing clear. If I tell you can come in and get a car for $0 down, then that's what will happen. It's not my fault that you don't believe. It's not my fault that you haven't tried.
No. I just saw a screenshot of somebody saying that Pinkman was going to be a guest producer on the Jim Colbert show next week, because they're on some vacations on that show. It said Pinkman is going to be a guest producer. Or no, it said Josh Fowler is going to be a guest producer on the Jim Colbert show next week. Josh Fowler will be a guest producer on the Jim Colbert show next week. And somebody said, who's Josh Fowler? And one of the responses was, Pigment. That's what they think his name is. Pigment. Pigment. Good old Pigment. Pigment. I don't call him Pigment. Maybe you do. I call him Little Josh. Coming back with the next episode. Pigman? Pigment.
Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't wait for your vision changes to progress. Ask your retina specialist about Izervay today. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Want to make the most of your tax refund? File with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it. With a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
The only show brave enough to admit we Google half this stuff. This is the new.
Things happening in the world of entertainment and beyond. Well, hello, friend. Welcome into the world's most viral newsroom. Forget the same 3 songs over and over and over. Hang out with us right here on the show. Learn more by going to the website, thenewsjunkie.com. So good to see you. So good to be into the weekend mode. You can email the show at any time. tips@thenewsjunkie.com. tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Thank you to Cat BH for the 5 gifted subs over there. There is, I think, 2 of those left. And then another gifted that just came in right after that, which I'll get to a little bit later on here because that's still loading. So I'll see who sent that over and add it to the mix. But you can go claim those over on the website. That's at thenewsjunkie.com right now. Right now, though, let's get into it. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV, and you can't possibly keep up with all of it, even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about?
A lot of this is starting to look fishy. Dogman, dogman, dogman!
Nothing. Weather's nice. It's time for the next episode with Sabrina. Hey,
smoke weed every day.
Dogman. Hold up. That's what I'm saying. If you're looking to refinance your house, perhaps buy your first dream home, maybe start a business, expand your business, debt consolidation, refinancing, and everything in between, work with that mortgage guy, Don, a proud sponsor of the next episode, and he's going to be very proud of you when he helps you get that money off the table and back in your hands where it belongs. So start the process today by going to his website, thatmortgageguydon.com.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with thatmortgageguydon.com.
56 years ago, 1970, one of the members of this group right here. Whisper words of wisdom.
The Beatles.
The Beatles is right. And on this day, Paul McCartney announced he quit the Beatles.
Oh.
Due to personal differences in direction with John Lennon and disapproval of Yoko Ono.
Typical Yoko.
The following week, Paul's debut solo album was released, unrelated for sure. I mean, it didn't take him just 1 week to have the solo album ready to be released, but he has since made his peace with Yoko and said it really wasn't his fault or her fault. But with that, I have to segue into something that keeps popping up every once in a while.
You know what Yoko said about that? Yoko just screamed at the ah!
Do it.
Whatever she did at that art installation where people gathered, Yoko fans. Thank you, Yoko.
By the way, it's a firework.
Yeah, by Katy Perry.
That makes it better.
You know where I think John and Yoko were when they sent the fax that kind of announced the end of the Beatles?
Mm-hmm.
Where?
The Walt Disney World Polynesian Resort.
Oh, right. I have heard that before. Yeah, it's interesting.
Did you also hear that Yoko thought John Lennon was gay?
No, really? Did she?
Oh, yeah. And it keeps popping up.
Grade, I thought that I was gay.
Sir Paul McCartney revealed, honestly, 10 years ago, that Yoko Ono thought that John Lennon might have been gay. Alec Baldwin earlier this year said, I'm pretty sure those guys are gay. Paul and John together. Mm-hmm. She's an artist, is what Paul said. She's kooky, but John loved her, and that's the bottom line. You really can't go beyond that, no matter what you might think. Not my type, but I swear she rang me shortly after John died and said, I think John might have been gay.
See, I think there's
I'm going to do that to me on the way out.
I swear.
What the hell?
I want, and I'm not sure. I said, I don't think so. Certainly not when I knew him, because we'd be in the 60s. And this is a Paul McCartney quote to Yoko after she rang him up saying John was gay. We'd been around with loads and loads of girls, and I bumped into seeing him jacking a lot of girl action.
Oh, okay. Jacking a lot of girl action. All right, yeah.
And I slept with John very often. There was never anything, never a gesture, never an expression. It was nothing. But Yoko thought for sure.
It's like, Yoko, oh my God, I'm so sorry to hear that this lunatic murdered John Lennon, your husband. She's like, I think he might have been gay.
Just a little bit.
You.
And
you,
because
Yoko.
of that.
Like, think he might have been gay, or think he might have just partied so hard that a dude might have slipped in there and he doesn't know?
I don't know.
It happened.
Two dudes singing on a microphone. One of their wives implies it's beyond bro. Hockey, please move aside. To a 4-fab, switch the B with G. Secret love.
That one took me a second.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. At least according to Yoko, who thinks that John.
Didn't think to bring that up till afterwards.
Also dead.
Go with the fact that he's not. I mean,
Africa Bambaataa passed away, unfortunately. The rapper and DJ who helped pioneer hip-hop has died.
That's brutal.
Complications of cancer in Pennsylvania.
Really?
He died in Pennsylvania from complications.
I thought he died of complications with that and Pennsylvania.
That particular cancer.
I've got Pennsylvania.
He was born in the Bronx. He joined the local gang, the Black Spades, quickly rising up the ranks in the gang as a position of warlord. And beginning in the 1970s, he took that war and made sweet beats in the hip-hop world. Bambaataa released his first single in 1980 titled Zulu Nation Throwdown. And since then, we've been throwing down all of these hot beats. May he rest in peace. And in heaven.
I think I can't come in on Monday.
What?
I'm coming down with a little case of the Pennsylvania.
Nothing like
Doctor
Pennsylvania.
said I got the Pennsylvania.
It gets worse over there. Or Taylor Momsen. You might know her as Cindy Lou Who. You might know her as the lead singer of Pretty Reckless. I knew her from The Hills or the Rich Kids, XOXO, Gossip Girl. Okay. And Wild Animals know her as being a snack because she has been attacked yet again. She's on tour right now with this group.
How many times has she been attacked by wild animals?
Twice. She's on tour with AC/DC.
Oh, okay.
And we talked about this last year. She got bit by a bat while on tour in Spain. And now she's been bitten by a venomous spider while in Mexico.
Oh.
Get her in a bubble.
What kind of spider?
Venomous.
We know? We just like one, some type of spider?
Yeah, they didn't say the type of spider. They just knew it was venomous, and she didn't turn into Spider-Man. She did share a video of herself being treated by doctors, a joke that she wants to know when her superpowers kick in. It wouldn't be an AC/DC tour if I didn't get bit. A massive spider decided to take a chunk out of me, and its venom did a number on my system. So I had the wonderful doctors in Mexico come, and what do I become? Spider-Woman? Batgirl? I guess we'll find out. Moving on.
Her?
No, that was just AC/DC. And this is creative. I just think a little late. According to some reports, the lawyers of this guy right here.
Diddy
is right. And did he really break the law? According to the latest, his lawyers are saying he should be freed from prison because his freak-offs were actually amateur porn, which is covered by the First Amendment.
Uh-oh.
Let him out.
That is... Well, that's a tactic. It was filmed.
Yeah. Freak-offs and hotel nights were highly choreographed sexual performances involving the use of costumes, roleplay, and stage lighting, which were filmed so Combs and his girlfriends could watch this amateur porn later on. Therefore, it is protected by the First Amendment and thus cannot constitutionally be prosecuted. Let's see how that holds up in court. As we move on, beyond court and into space.
The final frontier.
Do me a solid. If you could pull it up for those watching on the stream. Hey, stream. Mario twerking on the moon.
Okay.
Because according to Artemis II and their cool pictures with the tablets and the Apple phones, they got some awesome moon photos, but also one that looks like Mario is on the moon shaking that ass.
Is it? I mean,
that looks like Mario shaking his ass.
It does, but the moon doesn't really have the reds and blues in it, right? They've colorized this, right? I mean, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I think that's might have been colorized for altitude.
But he's got a dome. I'll tell you what. I love that they colorized it for sure, but that is the picture of the moon, and that is the picture once colorized of Mario twerking, all up in it. No word from Nintendo just yet, but talk about product placement with the Mario Galaxy movie coming out. Is that not perfect?
It's a nice little plug for them. I'll go to the first one, Sean.
Yeah, right there. There's the moon.
I mean, it looks like Mario
can see
twerking
it.
I can see it, but if it wasn't red and blue, like Mario colors, I would never be able to tell.
No, the colorization is for the heat or how the depth of it, rather. Sealine, didn't you just mention that?
I thought maybe altitude.
Yeah.
All right.
Wouldn't be the heat.
There's no heat in space.
It's not very hot on the moon.
It's very hot here on Earth, and I'll leave you with this. Insane Clown Posse, they're changing it up. The Gathering of the Juggalos has a new location for the first time in decades. It's always been in Thornville, Ohio.
Where are those terrorists going now?
Now this domestic terrorist group, down with the clown until they're dead in the ground, are moving on over to Max Creek, Missouri. Oh, yeah. Why did they do that? It was a lengthy post, but ICP hyped up the brand new river-infused realm of dopeness nestled within Missouri's Lake of the Ozarks area. And hinted at the evolution of the festival, asking everyone to join them in traversing the unexplored territory of Missouri, the Ozarks, to be exact.
I think we've explored most of Missouri.
Have you though? The rivers?
I mean, I have not personally.
I've never been to Missouri, but maybe we'll go this year and get down with the clown. On the Boob Tube, we have Celebrity Jeopardy. We have on Hulu the series premiere of Malcolm in the Middle revival, Life's Still Unfair, Friday on HBO or Saturday, Sunday. We have Christie, the streaming premiere of that, and you can catch Jack Whitehall hosting Saturday Night Live UK, available here in the U.S. Follow your dreams with me on Instagram at Sabrina Ambra. Most importantly, say it with me, America.
Smoke weed every day.
Thank you, Sabrina.
Wait. They had Jack Black and Jack White in America last week, and now it's Jack Whitehall
in UK. Yeah.
It's a weird
Interesting.
coincidence.
A lot going on.
I'm just, it's interesting now that they're doing the UK version of SNL. Like, you never even used to think about that being another thing. And now they're, crossing the ocean and over in the UK as well for about 5 seconds more if some of the stories I see are true.
We took The Office. And
by the way,
Shameless.
the moon is a beautiful place to be. The moon is either negative 125 degrees or positive 125 degrees. The temperatures on the moon are either negative 125 degrees or positive.
They don't have like a cloudy day.
No, you're not getting that.
On account of no clouds?
It's either sun, no sun. That's what you get with the moon. It's either sun, no sun, you're melting, or freezing. Just the two of those. Just complete Philadelphia the whole time. Or Pennsylvania. Was it?
Pennsylvania.
I got too specific. That's not good. When we come back, This Week in Florida. That's right, friends. This Week in Florida with Christopher Dolores Lane is on the way. What happened in the Sunshine State in the last 7 days? You're about to find out. Buckle up. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Download the all-new iHeartRadio app. Make Real Radio 104.1 number one on your presets, and you could win free stuff at upcoming events.
If you're starting off your...
Hello. Welcome behind the scenes of the show. Stand by. Stand by.
This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always
Boom! This guy with 5 gifted subs, 5 gifted Secret Show subscriptions over on thenewsjunkie.com. This guy, thank you so much. This guy is beautiful. This guy is fantastic. Now let me see if any of them are available. Oh. 2 left. Go grab 2. This guy with 5 gifted subs. Thank you so much. Gotta love it. Go grab one of the gifted subs right now while you can. Probably have a matter of seconds for those. And then watch Secret Shows live tonight in this studio, uncensored at 8 p.m. You can watch on Apple TV on the new Secret Shows app. Search for Secret Shows in the App Store and log in. Which guy? This guy. This guy. Not some dude, this guy? Yeah, it's this guy. This guy's on first. That guy's on second. The other guy's on third. This guy gifted 5 subs. Not some dude, some guy. I clearly said it was some guy, not some dude. How many of you in chat are aware of the musician Sia? Anybody aware of Sia? Sia, the musician. She became famous when she was older, but she was in the pop world, so she mostly covers her face with her crazy hair. And she's like, you know, singing her Sia songs like this. But if you look back, older lady under there, Sia. You want to swing from the chandelier, precisely. Sia, I had just seen this story, and I want to know if you agree with this or not, all right? Sia, 50 years old, just got a divorce from her husband, Daniel Bernard. They were married for 2 years, okay? They have one baby named Somersault Wonder, who's 2 years old. So married for 2 years old, they have one 2-year-old child named Somersault Wonder. And Sia now pays $42,500 per month in child support. Sia pays $42,000 in child support to her ex-husband now, that she has a 2-year-old named Somersault Wonder with. Here's the thing that I wonder if you agree with or disagree with. She posted on Instagram after the judge wrapped everything up with their divorce and told her, I need you to pay this guy $42,000 a month. Sia posted, good dads get jobs. What do we think about that? She posted, good dads get jobs after their divorce was finalized on Instagram, implying that he was a bum, he needs to go get some work, get a job. Digest that a little bit. $42K is big money. Not for Sun State John, though. He's an oiler. Sun State John's a big oiler. So for him, but for the rest of us, like, whoa! Avendasaurus says, I agree with her. No one should have to pay to co-parent. Interesting. Now, what if there was the inverse of this? In a situation you had a couple where a man was ordered to pay a woman $42,000 a month. They have a 2-year-old child together. And he says, good moms get a job. Do we feel the same way? Do we feel the same way about it? This Week in Florida is coming up in just a moment. You do feel the same way about it. If people are co-parenting, you don't think in any situations there should be any payout, any kind of monthly payment. So you're saying she's single? If I'm getting $42,000 a month, block the job, I'd say thanks for the kids, see you later. $42K a month is a lot. And then how long does he get it for? They're only married for 2 years, right? Very interesting. Coming back.
From Reese Windows, pick up your phone and text the word trust right now to 20129. That's trust to 20129.
For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Need help after an accident? Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeartRadio station. Guaranteed human. On a constant quest to stay calm, like that bear in the hammock. This is
We'll see what happened in the Sunshine State over the last 7 days. It's going to get weird. That is coming up here in just a moment on the show. Real quick, I wanted to toss this out there to get people's thoughts on it. We all know the singer Sia, right? Sia, she's got crazy fake hair, and she's older, so she covers her face a lot because she's a pop star, but she became a pop star at an older age. And sings the Chandelier song, something about a chandelier. Beautiful voice, very catchy. In fact, strangely enough, I saw her because she's on the latest season of Jury Duty, where they fake the reality show around that guy, and they go, Sia is here at the corporate retreat that the whole thing is about, the second season of this reality show where only one guy doesn't know everything's fake.
And she was
and it's
great.
all like a prank around him. And I go, that's not really Sia. And then I start looking at photos over online. I'm like, oh my God, they got the real lady to go do it.
And she nailed it. Like
she did.
She was very funny. I really enjoyed her
sang
part.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she went up and she sang. I don't know if it has anything to do with this, but she just got a divorce. She was married to Daniel Bernard in March 2025. After 2 years of marriage, they filed for divorce. So they were married for 2 years. In March 2025, they filed for divorce. Their divorce was just finalized. They have a baby together that's 2 years old named Somersault Wonder Bernard. Somersault Wonder is the baby's name. And Sia said there's irreconcilable differences as the reason for the breakup. In this, Sia agreed to pay $42,500 per month in child support.
Oh, my gosh.
To her ex. She's paying him $42,000 per month in child support, right? And this is an interesting thing when men and women split up and the man has to pay the woman and it's like $42,000 per month. A lot of times people will be like, get it, girl, get your back. It's still, I think, the case a lot of times if a guy gets child support and a woman is paying it to this guy, I think people tend to look down on that. Society will judge those people. And Sia, after this determination from the judge that she would have to pay $42,500 per month in child support, I don't know what the custody situation is, but Sia said, good dads get jobs. That is the quote that she put for her 3.2 million followers on social media. She said, good dads get jobs. He is
Does he need a job?
Well, he was a former radiation oncologist, so that seems like a gig that pays pretty well, honestly,
Not as good of a payday with Sia ex-husband.
That ain't bad, man. $42,000 a month. So let us know what you think about that, and hit us up with dispatches and emails as we get into this. Sealand, are you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's do This Week in Florida.
Giving you a recap of the most groan-worthy stories in the state. It's This Week in Florida.
That's right. The weekend is here. It's time to take a trip around the Sunshine State, see some of the craziness that has gone on in the past 7 days or so, and a quick update on, we talked about, I believe it was last week, the kid who got arrested for murder after they found like a chopped up body and some luggage.
Yes.
And he had left like an Amazon package in part of the luggage that had his address in it.
Let's hear him out. Let's not judge too soon, though. I mean, it does look quite bad, but
the victim was a registered sex offender, and that's why the kid says he decided to.
Okay.
No way. So
hack up this dude's.
He's admitting that he killed somebody and dismembered them, but he's saying the reason I did this was because they were a sex offender and I wanted to clean up the streets.
Do they know each other?
I don't think I didn't gather from the story that this person was a victim. It just said he's a registered sex offender. Initially, claimed Daniel had been sleeping in the house before leaving. That's the wrong thing. Court documents reveal a motive rooted in targeted violence. The girlfriend told investigators that Jones, that's the kid that was arrested, the like 19-year-old kid from Indiana, admitted to killing Daniel with a baseball bat and dismembering the body using a cleaver, saw, and knife because the victim was a registered sex offender. Records confirm the man was convicted in 2018 of lewd and lascivious battery on a victim between the ages of 12 and 15. The girlfriend noted, and it sounds like what you said, cleaning up the streets. Jones, the defendant, had recently printed out a list of local sex offenders, a document his mother allegedly threw away shortly before the police search. Medical examiners described the scene inside the suitcases as, quote, experimental dismemberment, and extreme mutilation.
The chat, by the way, is saying Dexter, no harm, no foul. It's a lot of people kind of. This is an easy out. People will go, "Oh, he's a sex offender. All right, fine."
The autopsy noted blunt force trauma to Daniel's head, defensive wounds on his arm, suggesting a struggle before death. Jones was formally charged on April 1st. That's a weird day to get that kind of charge. He's being held in custody as the legal process moves forward. That they said that vultures, I guess, led police to discover the bags, the suitcases that had all the body parts in them. Over in Clearwater, the city clerk, I think, is catching some eyes after rejecting more than 5,000 signatures on a petition. The petition, you ask? Well, it was to try and stop a potential sale of a whole city street to the Church of Scientology, who needs it to build L. Ron Hubbard Hall.
Wait, they're going to take a whole street and turn it into a hall in their building?
Whole plot of land is going to be the new hall. The church withdrew plans submitted to the city last year, but is preparing to resubmit sometime in the future. A citizen group called Save the Garden, working to put a question on a ballot in August, would ask that voters if they should get to vote on any potential sale of a city right-of-way to a private entity like the church. Citizens in general and American people want to be heard, says committee member Tonatia Tello. That is a fun name.
Excuse me?
Tonatia Tello. It's one of the Ninja Turtles, it sounds like. Said when the signatures were dropped off to the clerk in March, we're tired of having...
off Ninja Turtle. Which one do you want?
The Timu Donatello.
I'm telling you, he's just as good as Michelangelo. It's Donatello.
Said we're tired of having other people fight our battles for us that are not in our interest. So I think they're probably not too pleased with Clearwater City Clerk Rosemary Call for throwing away those 5,000 signatures because they don't want to give the Church of Scientology any more land.
Damn.
There's a search out in the waters, not the same one that's going on in the Bahamas, but they said they're looking around. They're looking around off the shores because for decades, Florida residents have reported sightings of a legendary hammerhead shark.
Uh-oh.
And I don't know...
Tomatinatello.
I don't know what about the shark makes it legendary, except perhaps its name. Huge sharks along Florida's coast aren't anything new. Supposed eyewitnesses placed this hammerhead at over 20 feet long, weighing more than 2,000 pounds, making it a giant shark. The folklore has been propagated lately thanks to fishermen working off the Gulf Coast in places like Tampa Bay or Sarasota, though the shark's nickname is the thing likely to raise the most eyebrows for those who hear it. That name is Old Hitler, and they're saying they're wondering.
I'm sorry, what? They named the shark Hitler?
Old Hitler.
Old Hitler.
Old Hitler.
Okay. Sorry, excuse
you
me.
can see from this headline, is Old Hitler still swimming around Florida? Is the question on everybody's mind.
That's Old Hitler out there.
According to Naples Daily News, the legend stemmed from World War II when German U-boats began invading off the east coast of the U.S. During that time, German submarines sank several American vessels near Florida, causing the U.S. military to deploy blimps to patrol the state's coast. That had to look crazy.
Different times.
Private ships sailing these waters grew paranoid about being attacked by the Germans, and they often reported seeing unidentified watercraft around shipping ports. And many of those sightings were ultimately found to just be large hammerhead sharks swimming near the surface. And I guess, one thing leads to another, and they named the shark Old Hitler. And they might.
I think it's a fine name for a shark. It's a shark, everybody. We don't have to personify everything in the nice way that we like to do.
Yeah, but Hitler, dude.
Yeah, it's a shark.
We don't know if that shark is just attacking Jews.
I know that if I fall into the water and somebody goes, there's a 20-foot hammerhead shark in here, I will think it's worse than Hitler. I will, I would. That's a nightmare. That's like right out of the movies, a shark that big.
There's a giant octopus also down there named Mussolini. I don't know. Some people would probably say this guy is a hero, but he, definitely broke the law. Mm-hmm. A man in Brevard County has visibly upset to word that he must put up $157,500 bond to get out of jail. He didn't hesitate to ask for it to be lowered. I'll have an ankle monitor, he said.
All right.
And they said, sir, you fled from law enforcement. You crashed into a law enforcement vehicle and you ended up in a barge canal with your ex in the canal. He drove into a canal with his ex-girlfriend in the car, maybe ex-wife. So they said, we'll not be reducing charges at this time. He's facing 8 charges, including attempted second-degree murder. It started on Monday. Brevard County deputies say this man, John Lucas, met up with his ex-girlfriend in a parking lot. He was asking to rekindle their relationship. When she said no, he forced his way into her car and began strangling her.
Jeez.
That's when the sheriff's office showed up. As they got out and started walking up to approach the vehicle, it went into reverse, backed out of the parking lot, and he went on this joyride, hitting cop cars and ending up in a canal. Not so great for this guy who says, I'll wear an ankle monitor, I swear. I was just trying to drive my ex into the canal.
It sounds like she made a great decision, honestly.
The bad decision was meeting back up with him, I think.
Yeah,
in the parking lot.
Maybe just no more meetings.
Love is love. Love is love.
$157,000 bond doesn't seem like that much for what he did, don't you think?
Depends.
8 charges.
If he's like mega poor, then it's like $1 billion to him. He's never going to be able to put a percentage of that up. He's screwed.
Let's see. A 55-year-old New York man was arrested in Key Largo following multiple calls regarding a reckless driver. Sheriff's office received the calls of a reckless driver near mile marker 110, including that the suspect, later identified as Timothy Mahoney, and who I think probably because of his tattoos is shirtless in his mugshot. Timothy Mahoney. He struck some cones near mile marker 108 where the vehicle stopped. He was outside of his truck wearing only a construction hard hat, but otherwise nude, dancing to music. He was attempting to smoke marijuana from a pipe while being detained, and then he was taken to jail. He was charged with DUI, resisting arrest, possession of marijuana, and possession of drug paraphernalia. He's should have been arraigned already, but it's just coming through for me right now.
Yeah.
There we go. Old Timothy Mahoney dancing outside his truck. Residents of Brickell Key are being urged to prepare for the planned implosion of the former, and I don't know how long this has been closed, but the name seems to imply that it might have been for a while, the Mandarin Oriental Hotel.
Oh, really?
I don't think we call them that anymore, right?
Oh, no, things can be Oriental. Yeah, that is fine for a thing to be Oriental.
I've heard a rug can be Oriental.
Yeah, because it's an object. An object can be Oriental, but a person isn't. You don't say Oriental for a person. It's rude.
They say the planned implosion of the former hotel as if they were getting ready for a storm. City officials with Miami Fire Rescue and Miami Police say they've been planning this implosion for about a year. I didn't know that you had to you planned that long just to blow up a hotel.
The Oriental's huge. Yeah, it's a big one.
The demolition is scheduled for Sunday morning. The former luxury resort will be brought down to make way for a new residential and hospitality development. It now sits gutted with explosives attached to its concrete columns.
The explosives are still there?
Which will all the explosives are there for the Big Bang.
I hope there's security. That's very tempting to go over and just light it up. Walk by.
Just find a little plunger.
Yeah.
I know it's around here somewhere. Where's the thing I push that blows this whole thing up?
It's a big red button, right?
You have no idea. You're expecting either the cartoon thing that you're thinking of or just a wick somewhere.
Yeah.
That you just light like
Big
a big firework. They say the explosives attached to the columns, officials say, will ensure a smoother implosion. We knew it was going to happen, but apparently it's happening sooner than later. Classes will be resuming this fall at Deltona High School, and students will find an unusual addition to their campus security system: ceiling-mounted drones designed to respond to active shooter threats. They're actually putting this in the high school. It is a new test of drone-based security technology in U.S. schools, backed by more than $500,000 in state funding that they're rolling out. Let's see. A hero to Sabrina. Woman was wanted for embezzling from multiple HOAs. She was arrested.
Let's go.
2 counts of fraud over $50,000. They say her total bond was established at $1.35 million for 59 counts of embezzlement and 61 counts of uttering false instruments. And last but not least, a man was banned from Disney World after allegedly attempting to sneak a wallet full of cocaine into the Magic Kingdom.
Wait, hold on. I know it sounds bad, but again, let's hear him out. Does he have a solid reason for this?
Reason? He wanted to do cocaine in Magic Kingdom, I think.
Okay, well, I'll allow it. Yeah.
He was arrested and charged with possession. They said Wallace and his son were at the Magic Kingdom bus loop checkpoint when they entered the line and were scanned with a metal detector. It set off an alert about Wallace's back pocket. They said he had a bulky wallet. I've had one of those before.
Full of cocaine,
Not in the same way, no. They asked him to empty his pockets, at which point he appeared to get nervous. When they opened the bulky wallet, they found a bag of powdery white substance. It doesn't say how much they caught him with, but...
A wallet full, obviously.
Yeah, well, they didn't, weigh it or anything. I don't have grams or anything. He was taken into custody and booked in a nearby jail with bond set at $2,500, but he can no longer go to Disney World. Oh. And that's it for this week in Florida.
Thank you, C-Lane. Speaking of theme parks, speaking of the theme parks, you're talking about Disney World and a wallet full of the marching powder stuff there. I saw that there was a big change on the way. And
they're going to allow marching powder.
They are going to allow cocaine wallets. No, they're not going to allow that. But I saw that at Universal Studios, they are making a change, and they're getting rid of that Burger King that they have in the City Walk area.
Mm-hmm.
The Whopper Bar?
The Whopper Bar Burger King is out of here. It is out of here, and they're closing it down. And they're replacing with, and when I saw this at first, I was like, tell me they're going to put it in and out there. Because I thought that would just set things on
would be
fire.
badass.
They're not. They're going to put a Five Guys there. They're removing the Burger King and putting a Five Guys there.
Is a Moe's still there?
Yes, there is a Moe's burrito place up there. There's a sandwich shop of some sort up there.
Starbucks.
Asian bao place that's up there. But the thing is that it's kind of genius because Five Guys, it's funny. Five Guys' reputation in the United States of America is not that great right now. When I think Five Guys, I think one word. What is the one word you think of when you think Five Guys?
Expensive.
What comes in? Expensive. Yeah. Expensive is what I think. You go in there and you get a pretty standard burger and a greasy bag of fries for like $20. It's outrageously expensive.
Oh, if you do it on Uber Eats, it's even crazier.
Somehow around the world, they think that is the height of burgerdom in the United States of America.
Really? I've never heard that.
Globally, it's huge. If you go in Paris, I went to the Five Guys there, and the Five Guys in Paris had constantly, every single day, a line around the entire block, a gigantic line, and they're like, let's go try the American, I don't know, do a French accent. Let's try the American burger experience, and that's what they're trying to do.
Let's try the American burger experience.
We'll see if it works for them. Let us know what you think. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com or email the show. Tips, TIPS at thenewsjunkie.com. When we return, I've got a story for you about something that happened at a Chick-fil-A, which is going to knock the socks right off of your feet, friend, right off of them. After that, in jury duty, I have these text messages from the Bahamas murder mystery. Hookers in Hopetown, the husband and wife combo, Lynette Hooker and her husband, she has gone missing, presumed dead. In his text messages, I have them, and I think it actually adds a lot to the story. So we'll read through all of those. That's also coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733. From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Keep an eye out for a crash getting cleared up where Clarkona-Ocoee Road meets Orange Blossom Trail. There's a car stopped on the shoulder getting cleared up on I-4 eastbound near that I-95 exit there. Traffic's getting heavy on I-4 and on Florida's Turnpike. It's stop and go northbound approaching that I-75 exit. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
Orlando knows it's Sutherland.
We're broadcasting high above Sutherland Nissan with exciting news.
Sutherland.
They
I've got your favorite new Nissan models with many affordable options, and I'm going to land one today. Pun intended. Land yours at Sutherland Nissan with no payments on new Nissans till 2027. That's next year. Plus, their exclusive Sutherland for Life lifetime powertrain warranty on every new Nissan. Land yours today.
When your money's on the line, are you okay with a basic free tax service? Get the
Gross? My microphone's on. Uh-oh. Shoot. I broke it. Okay, I know. There, now it's on me. I had the camera on you on accident.
You can't see me.
It was just turned on you directly. Everybody saw how sweaty you are from your run. I'm going to show you guys. Let me see. I'm going to turn the camera so you can see. How far did you go?
8 1/4.
8 1/4 miles? That's almost as far as the Artemis II people went.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's almost the same distance. What should I ask Mr. Predicto?
We have good weather this weekend?
No. Oh, come on, dude! You're not getting a cheese ball.
Oh, look how excited.
We're not doing. Don't try to do tricks. Don't try to go to the cheese balls. We're not doing cheese balls. She's gonna start crying or something. She's like 2 seconds away. She's shaking.
She's trying really hard. Go, lady. Get him.
Get me? What the hell does that even mean?
Get him.
You're not getting a cheese ball. You act like I need to do this. All right, fine. One cheese ball. I'll get you a good one. Here. You gotta get out of here. Okay, you gotta get. You gotta go.
Gotta go.
Say goodbye to the people.
Gotta go.
There she goes. All right, see you later. Be safe. Stay out of trouble, please. It's always getting into trouble. The dog is an expert. She is an expert. She worked me thin. All right, here we go.
Single day. No out-of-town crews, no gimmicks, just roofing done right by locals who know the Florida weather. Visit EustaceRoofing.com to schedule your free estimate. Head to this station's contest page for your chance to win a $25,000 gift card towards a new roof. It's the Dream Home Makeover with Eustace Roofing.
Wayfinder Life-Changing Travel is back for Season 2. Join us as we explore breathtaking natural beauty and the layered history of destinations around the world.
One of the things that really struck me about my time in Alaska, there's just a more dramatic starkness where the water and the land meet. It really is just a magical landscape.
So come along as Season 2 takes off. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Wayfinder, and listen now.
For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
Hear it here first. Then everyone else will catch up in a week or 2 or 4. You're listening to
People would lose it over this. I'll tell you what is allegedly in the works, and we'll see what you think about that in just a moment. But don't forget, we'll get to your feedback from the dispatches and email side of things here quickly in this segment, or as fast as I can. We're watching Artemis II and the amazing journey that these scientists and astronauts and everybody at NASA have been on. There's a lot of people who are just like negative Nancy's, and I do want to keep them dismissed because even though I say there's a lot of people, it's a tiny, tiny fraction. Most people are cool with all this NASA stuff and think it's pretty cool. Although I see people who will go after some of their social media folks. Like somebody on NASA will be like, we're on the way back. We're doing amazing. We went around the moon. We made it around the moon. And they'll go, you didn't make it around anywhere. Okay. And I'm like, you know, I feel like if you work for NASA, you can say we. I feel like if you're an employee at NASA and you go, well, right now we're on our way to the moon, we're circling the moon, and we're going to be landing. We're doing. If you talk like that, and you're a person who works for NASA, I think that's fair. You don't have to be only the astronauts to speak that way. You're still part of the NASA team. I mean, people do that with football teams, for God's sake. They'll be like, oh, did you see who we traded to the 49ers?
Exactly. I'm saying we when I'm talking about it. I have nothing to do with NASA.
Or like, our defense sucks this year. You see who we got playing at quarterback? Like, people do that stuff anyhow. So, I mean, I think it's okay when somebody says it that way. However, here's what I said was a bad idea. This I think is a terrible, terrible idea, and I want to see what you think about it. Let me bring up the story here in front of me. There's a growing number of states who are proposing a new type of tax. I can't help but think, looking at this from KOMO News, that this would be insanely unpopular. But the story says growing number of blue states are proposing wealth and exit taxes. And the idea of an exit tax in particular is nutso. It says across the country, at least 10 states are now exploring or have already passed an exit or wealth tax in order to combat revenue losses from residents fleeing to lower tax areas. That includes California, New York, Washington, and Michigan. They said among the most prominent is California's proposed Billionaire Tax Act, which would propose a one-time 5% tax on the total net worth of anybody worth over $1 billion living in the state, which would be about 200 people they were targeting.
So the exit would be if they move out?
That there's either so what they tried to do in California, Sealand, was they wanted to do this billionaire tax. And of the 200 people that were going to be targeted by the billionaire tax, where they just said, hey, out of nowhere, we're going to take 5% of everything, your net worth, right? Not how much you have in banks and not how much you have in stocks and bonds and not how much you have in savings, of your net worth. They want 5% of your net worth on these billionaires. Not that anybody cares much about billionaires or them losing some money. The billionaires, a bunch of them, decided to leave the state. They decided to leave the state. So the new idea is, hey, if you leave our state, we want to make you pay for leaving the state to go to another place where there's a better tax situation. They say another state, Washington, just passed a 9.9% tax on incomes over $1 million. I mean, that's crazy. Like in Seattle, $1 million is good, but it's not life-changing money per year, and they're going to give you another 9.9% tax increase. The bill's passage came around the same time as Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz, with an estimated net worth of over $3 billion, announced his move to Florida. A lot of people moving to Florida. No state taxes in Florida. Although, Florida's not perfect. It's a hell of a lot better than a lot of these states with tax situations. Among the other high-profile companies relocating is ExxonMobil, which is moving from North Jersey to Texas. Uber from California is also moving over to Texas. Yamaha is moving from California to Georgia. JP Morgan is taking some shots at New York City, saying they may leave New York themselves. And the thought here is that, what we'll do is we'll make it, if wealthy people live in our state and they don't want to pay taxes and they want to leave to go to another tax, we'll do an exit tax. And if you want to leave, ridiculous. We'll say, how much money do you have? And then we'll make you pay a percentage of your money to even leave our state and relocate to another one. What that will do is split the United States up into cities where people who make a lot of money will never live, and in states and cities where people who make a lot of money will consider living. Because people are never going to, if you have some kind of significant, net worth, you're not going to want to live in some state where they're going to take a bunch of it, even if you just leave. This is something I think will be deeply unpopular, especially with people with a bunch of money. If somebody's super poor right now, they're not going to care about somebody paying an exit tax if they're already very wealthy. But people who have a little bit of money and see this as maybe targeting them in some way.
Are they aiming this at citizens themselves, or companies, or both?
Both. Yeah, they're exploring or already have passed an exit or wealth tax to combat revenue losses from residents fleeing to lower tax areas.
I didn't even know that was legal, but maybe just because I've never heard of it before.
Crazy, man.
Just the individual themselves. Why wouldn't they just have a house in California and then live permanently elsewhere? They still are considered fleeing.
There's a lot of people who are on the progressive side of what they want to do with taxation, who want to tax things like this, you leaving to go to another state, or they want to tax unrealized gains, which is very unpopular with people who know anything about finances or investments. Unrealized gains means, let's say you buy a stock in C-Lane Core, and you buy the stock for $10 a share, right? You invest in C-Lane Core at the bottom, and you put $10,000 in it, all right? So you buy 1,000 shares of C-Lane Core. And then C-Lane Core skyrockets. Some might say the stock goes mega viral. And each
Skywall even.
Each share of C-Lane Core is now worth $1 million. Now, you haven't sold that, so you don't have any of the actual money. But even if you haven't sold it, they still want to tax you on those gains before you ever cash out. Now, you could buy C-Lane Core at $1,000 or the $10 a share to get in. And you buy it at that entry level point, right at the beginning. And then C-Lane his stock goes from $10 to $10 million. You could buy it and it could go back down to $10. You could lose all of that money. Right? That's the risk that's inherent when you buy stocks. If you don't cash out, you don't get the money. So if I buy it at $10, I got a great deal, right? It goes up to $10 million. Ooh, great. But if I don't cash out at $10 million and it goes back down to $10, I didn't get anywhere. They're trying to make you pay taxes before you realize those gains, before you sell the stocks. They're trying to tax you for leaving the states because they want to trap you in the state that you're in. New York has been trying for years, by the way, to do something else where they say, even if you leave the state, if your business functions in the state of New York, we want to hold you to New York taxes. They want to do a lot of stuff like this. I think it would be deeply unpopular. Tell us what you think. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com or email the show, tips, T-I-P-S, at thenewsjunkie.com. All right, let's see. Let's work in maybe a dispatch or two and see what's happening in your world. Somebody talking about Oriental discussion. Here is, let's go over to, I want to do this one. Builder. No, I don't want to do that one, actually. I want to do this one. Here's Evil Eye. Hello?
I don't get this. You can't say Oriental for a group of people.
Oh, boy.
We call us Americans, but we're United Statesians here.
Mm.
And
I don't know if everybody says that.
go from all the way up to top, all the way down to the bottom. So everybody on this side of the world is an American.
I think he's doing a bit.
I
think,
hope so.
Yeah, he's doing a bit.
Bad bit.
Oriental is something that your parents and your grandparents said, and it was pretty common in America. They'd be like, "Oh, this Oriental lady came in." Like they used to use colored boy back then. And you're like, okay, Grandpa, please don't say colored boy if we're in public, because things are different, and that's that. Most people hear that and go, "Ew, not great."
You can play Builder Bill.
Play Builder Bill?
Yeah, you were about to, and then you stop. You can play it.
Sure?
Play it. Yeah, play
All right,
it.
here's Builder Bill.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Heard your ad about Premier Men's Health. I just left there, and I found it interesting that the doctor's name was Johnson, given the fact that they concentrate on a certain part of the male anatomy.
Oh, yes.
That
yes.
is 100% true. I went and met with the guys at Premier Men's yesterday after the show.
You met with Dr. Johnson?
I did meet Dr. Johnson.
Any results right there in the office?
No, didn't do that thing.
Oh.
But the guy was telling me, like, all right, we'll do this, we'll do that, and you're going to meet Dr. Johnson. And I said, his name is Dr. Johnson? And he goes, the guy said, if I had a dime for every time I've been interrupted after saying what the doctor's name was, I was like, well, come on now. But no, they're really great over there. Learned a lot about how all that stuff works.
Your penis?
Boners, all of it, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, really?
Yes.
Do they talk about it in like a very passe, relaxed way, or are they like very medical about their discussion when they talk about it?
It was a combination, like enough medical stuff to be interesting, but not too much that you would lose my attention, and then just enough like dumbing it down to just be like, the guy uses his fist a lot. He's like,
what?
Wait, I'm sorry.
Excuse me?
This is the
Where?
first time you've been there?
He used his arm a lot to say, like, well,
Jesus.
Past your elbow?
He's treating you like a cattle in there?
To say basically, like, we're trying to get guys up here. When you start to fall like this, he was using.
Oh, I see.
He was miming.
Your arm is the level of elevation of your genital.
Yeah, of your erection, yes.
It's down here if it's not, and then up here. Yeah, I see. I see. That makes sense.
But no, it was all like laid out very well to the point where like I kind of have a better idea of how all that works.
I'm
and
kind of horny.
More importantly, how it goes wrong.
Yeah. You don't want it to go wrong. And that's what they're for over there.
Yeah.
Good,
but they say that like most men like will have some sort of, because at some point you just get old and they want to help you not lose that part of you.
You know what sucks about that? Talking about those things is still a little bit sort of where people are like, oh, and they'll say something or, get judgy or whatever, which it shouldn't be at all. It really shouldn't be. Now, I played a song. I used it as a rejoin earlier. I played a song for Courtney yesterday. The weirdest thing in the world happens. I keep hearing songs, and I'm like, I think Courtney might like this song. And then I'll go play the song for her, and she cries. And I go, I'm not playing music for you anymore. I played this song. There's a song called Don't Tell the Boys. Some of you might have heard this song before by a guy named PD. And it's called Don't Tell the Boys. And I said, you should hear this. And I played it for her, and I played the video that this guy made. And she started crying, and she's like, "Oh my God, that's it's like about men's mental health, kind of. It's really just a great song. You don't even think about that until you think, oh, he's saying don't tell the boys, and it's like there's a deeper meaning to what's going on in the song."
No, Courtney was that invested in men's mental health.
She gets emotional about music. I played another one for her about a woman who became a meth head stripper and how her life fell apart. And I was like, isn't this a great little singer-songwriter song? And she's crying. I'm like, oh my God, I'm not sharing this with you anymore.
Do you play that Christmas shoes song during the holidays?
Which one's that?
I'm not trying to make anybody cry. I'm not trying to illicit tears out of people.
I think you like it. I think you do.
I think she's sweet like that. When we come back, we'll get to jury duty. In jury duty, I have to work in what happened at a Chick-fil-A and the text messages in the Bahamas situation. This murder mystery developing in the Bahamas. What's going on? We'll talk about that. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
AI's power need is leading to the environmental collapse of the planet. We don't always recycle, and we use too much plastic and pollute. This one might be a push. Real Radio 104.1, guaranteed human.
This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission.
Let's begin with hoops, where the Magic visit Chicago tonight with playoff positions on the line. Orlando trails Atlanta and Toronto by just a game for sixth place in the East.
Hello, welcome to the show. Breaking news. Breaking news. In the Charlie Kirk assassination trial. Breaking news. Here's what we got. Alleged Charlie Kirk assassin Tyler Robinson wrote a handwritten letter to his boyfriend admitting to killing Charlie Kirk, according to newly unsealed court documents. The search warrant affidavit says Robinson sent his boyfriend a text that read, "Drop what you're doing, look under my keyboard." Underneath the keyboard was allegedly a handwritten note that said the following: "If you're reading this per my text, then I'm so sorry. I left the house this morning on a mission and sent an auto text. I am likely dead or facing a lengthy prison sentence. I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and I did it. I took it. I don't know if I will or have succeeded, but I hope to make it home to you. I wish we could have lived in a world where this did not feel necessary." Now, some of that was public. I had known about the note under the keyboard. I had known about the trans roommate boyfriend writing some sort of message, but the full text of that has never been released until now. It will probably be treated as a confession in the courtroom. pretty clear that should be an open and shut case. But you never know. I got these text messages in the Bahamas murder mystery coming up next. Wait till you guys hear these. I'll read the whole thing. Is that not a confession? It would be, yeah. Is there a question as to who killed him? Not for me, but for his defense attorneys, because they're saying he didn't do it. They're saying he did not do it. They're saying the ballistics don't match, yada, yada. They're saying he didn't do it. I thought we already heard about that letter admitting to the murder. The information about a note existing, about it existing under the keyboard, about the roommate saying this, has been out there in some circles. I was aware of it. But the full text of the message was never available until now. He's going to plead guilty and get life in prison without parole, just like that asshole from Parkland? I don't know. And let me remind you that we still have a non-insignificant portion of the electorate that, just as they are cheering on Luigi Mangione for cold-blooded murder of a healthcare CEO, of a father on the streets, that just as these people are cheering on, and this is not really some small fraction on a place like Reddit. It's like the overwhelming opinion on a website as big as Reddit that ekes its way into all sorts of other corridors there. Non-insignificant amount of people who are defending Luigi Mangione for cold-blooded murder and are doing the same thing, many of the same people actually, with Charlie Kirkskill. And the reason for that is because they're terrible fucking people. Maybe the boyfriend did it? The boyfriend ratted him out. Though he was a mess, this person. 2 minutes and we're back live. You people are in fantasy land sometimes. Maybe it was this. Here's what happened. Maybe it was Teabag in chat. Yeah, people cheering these things are a problem. Yeah, I mean, there's again, a non-insignificant portion of the American political spectrum currently is not opposed to murdering people who disagree with you. Which is, and this should go without saying, an unbelievably bad thing that should be rejected by all of us. If you don't reject it, I reject you. This is the paradox of tolerance at work, okay? But there's a non-insignificant amount of people who will run defense for stuff like that. I'll accept those cheering Luigi Mangione as terrible people too. Good. Good for you. You should. I think it's the right thing to do, although such a small thing, to say murder is bad. And gambling is bad. TNJ chat, you hear me? Gambling is bad. All right, here we go.
Coverage, 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. Ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Got something to say?
Love you.
Well, just tap the red talkback mic on the free iHeartRadio app.
Let's go.
Requests, contests, or just to say hi.
Hey, this is Heather.
Get your voice on the air fast.
I got the windows rolled down, the moonroof open.
Open the iHeartRadio app and try it now.
Save during mulch week at Lowe's with 5 pounds of Stay Green Premium 2 cubic foot mulch for $10. Plus, get select 1 pint annuals for $1. Valid through 4/15 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by crimeline.org. Give a tip anonymously.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Watching the world burn with some friends since 2007. This is...
Join in on the action. Hang out with the crowd over on TNJ Chat 2.0. You can jump into the chat room at any time, meet some people who listen to this show. You're going to have a fun time. I say it's the greatest chat room ever invented in the history of chat rooms, and it's waiting for you right now. Go to chat, chat.thenewsjunkie with an IE.com, chat.thenewsjunkie.com. Jury duty coming up in just a second. In fact, I got to get into this because there are some really crazy stories to lead things off here. And we have had a wild week with the anti-AI people. So it's not getting enough coverage, but we got to mention this. I have to talk about some of the stuff that's going on with these people. Some of the anti-AI people are losing it. And I'll tell you what's going on. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass. You're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. 800-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com.
This list for him is piling up, man. Piling up.
We got a lot of questions for our attorney Mo next time he pops back.
Next week is going to be, he's going to have to come early.
Segments.
So if you have a need for an attorney and you want to go up against those greedy insurance companies, go for it. 800-CALL-MO or justcallmo.com. Let's talk about the anti-AI people. Now, the first kind of semblance of the anti-AI in recent years movement that I saw was not really related to ChatGPT and the text form when it came out. The first level of pushback that I have seen is from the art world. It's from people who don't like AI art, who don't like AI photographs, who don't like AI images, who don't like the creations that come from AI and the jobs that they are going to displace. They don't want it in their movies. They don't want it on their TV shows. And they don't want it on their social media feeds. In fact, if you post something and somebody even sniffs a little AI in that sucker, it's a little on social media,
Twitter, y'all see this?
they will go, AI, this is AI. And a lot of them are kind of crazy people, and they think everything's AI. They think everything that they come across is AI.
But don't you, even if you're not like against it, don't you still do that in your everyday life? Like when you see stuff and you're like, wow, that is 100% AI. Like I did this last time. My wife and I were in New York. We were walking down the street somewhere, and one of the restaurants had one of those like sandwich board signs with their specials on it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's classic AI font. That is that is the font that you would see when you have AI generate your poster there.
I think it's good and bad. Like, I think there's good things that come out of this, and it helps out people who are trying to start up a dream business out of nowhere and gives them more resources. And I think all that stuff's great. I think there's bad stuff, for instance, bad art that comes out of this. I think there are people who are part of the anti-AI movement, though, that are crazy as hell. And the first example that we had this week, Sealand, we talked about the person who allegedly shot at the politician's house who had made a statement in support of an AI data center.
Yeah, like 13 bullets or so?
Right through the front door.
Yeah. And the story was a little weird and kind of on the nose, but this guy spoke out in support of an AI data center, and then somebody fired a whole bunch of shots at his house. You saw the holes in this guy's door, and then they left a message underneath his doormat about being against these AI facilities. there's some crazy people that are attached to this whole thing. Like many other movements out there, they end up with like these absolute loons. And I'll give you another example because this one's just making the rounds now. San Francisco police have just arrested somebody. All right, I'll bring up the story here. They arrested the guy who is behind OpenAI, the CEO of the ChatGPT company, Sam Altman. His house was targeted by a Molotov cocktail. The suspect also made threats outside their corporate headquarters in San Francisco, California. And they said this person was trying to kill the CEO of OpenAI because he was against all this AI stuff. And they said, we deeply appreciate how quickly the San Francisco Police Department responded. The individual is in custody. We're assisting law enforcement. Officers learned that an unknown man had thrown an incendiary destructive device at a home, causing a fire to an exterior gate. The suspect then fled on foot. His description was broadcast to all the officers. And they ended up finding this guy who was threatening to burn down the OpenAI headquarters after this happened. They said, that's the guy from the earlier thing. And they arrested a 20-year-old man for doing this, for being at the center of all of it. And you could see what happens in these cases. Crazy-ass people get obsessed with their new thing, and they get anti-AI. And just like all the other political battles that are fomenting out there, they start to go to violence. And in this case, and it wasn't just shooting at the door. In this case, they tried to burn down the house of the CEO of OpenAI, Sam Altman. There's a lot of like anger bubbling up in that world. Now, I know there's different feelings about AI. Sometimes AI can be very cringe. Sometimes AI could be very cool and interesting. And sometimes AI makes me feel one way or another. But I have never felt like burning someone's house down as a result of AI.
No.
I can't even think of what would make me want to burn somebody's house down.
Well, there are things that make me want to burn people's houses down.
Not AI though.
Not AI.
And I wonder, how do you find his address? Did he Google it and the AI gave him the overview?
Just ask ChatGPT, where does Sam Altman live?
Where does the CEO live? Uh-oh. Got a bit of a flaw in the system. Although I did see one of my favorite AI stories of the week was, this is so childish, and I fully apologize in advance for telling you this story. But allegedly, this is true. Somebody recorded themselves farting. Okay, I know. I get it, right? They recorded themselves doing that a whole bunch of times into the microphone and then uploaded it to ChatGPT and said, I've been working really hard on my latest album, and this is what I've come up with. And they had ChatGPT review their album, which was, of course, just them. You understand. You understand what was going on in this scenario.
Were these just like, were they edited into songs, or was it just tracks of raw
fart?
Yeah.
I think it was just the raw thing, Celine. Yeah. I'll try to see if I can bring it up here. Hang on. There's the guy. Here it is. The guy who did this uploaded it, and he says, what do you think of this music I made? And I already told you what it actually was. And ChatGPT says, I listened to your track. Here's a straight, honest reaction. First impression, it has a cool lo-fi, late-night, slightly eerie vibe. Feels more like an atmosphere piece than a traditional song, which actually works in its favor.
Come on.
It reminds me of something that would play over a quiet city montage or end credits. It says the minimalism is good. There's a nice bedroom DIY texture that makes it feel personal rather than polished. The short length at 37 seconds actually suits it. It feels like a fragment or an interlude, it says. And so, like, I get it. It can be cringe, and this is cringe, and, you know, yes, man, and all that. But some of you people are crazy out there with your AI responses. Let us know what you think. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. When we come back, I've got the text messages in the Bahama murder mystery case that I think will change a lot, may change how you think about this. I have the crazy thing that went down at a Chick-fil-A. We have to talk about that. And speaking of AI, yesterday I told you a young guy got arrested for making a fake AI video, or making an AI video, I guess I should say, of people breaking into a police officer's car and then showing it to a cop. He got arrested for that. I have the video from that, too. I'll play it when we come back. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Make Real Radio 104.1 number one on your presets on our all-new iHeartRadio app and get cool stuff at Real Radio events. Get the app for free in your app store.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
The roadways are getting busy this afternoon, and so are emergency crews. There's a crash on the Greenway southbound before that I-Drive exit, block in the right lane. Move over and slow down if you see police activity on the roadways. No accidents on I-4, although some familiar delays are starting to pile up. Traffic stop and go on Florida's Turnpike northbound approaching that I-75 exit. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 86.
Hello, welcome behind the scenes of the show. The Power Hour is on. Chat, what song should I end the show with? What song should I end the show with today? LFQ says AI made a banger of a plane song and a last dispatch song. Back on a Plane and the final dispatch song, good. They're good. I agree. No, not Friday by Rebecca Black. We can't do that. No, I can't. No. Sorry. Space Lord. Space Lord, mother. The Banks of Ohio, a song about a man drowning his wife? No! Space Lord. Space. Okay, something space related. Rocket Man? Rocket Man it is. Rocket Man. Rabba-labba-doo-da-dee-da-do. Mr. Predicto, did I just nail the Rocket Man song I sang?
I would not count on it.
Space Hog. Yes, Space Hog. I'll be on the road. Space Hog's a good one. Solid jam. Space Hog or Rocket Man? We have to pick one. They think we're all stupid about Starlinks and data centers? What does that mean? Jungle Love? Why? Why Jungle Love? Space Hog? Space Hog, Rocket Man is used a lot? Yeah, we're going Space Hog, baby. We're hogging it up. We're going to get our hog on. Space Hog. Space Hog Wiki. English American rock band. we're coming back.
Don't take Izervay if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't wait for your vision changes to progress. Ask your retina specialist about Izervay today. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Win $25,000 in free impact windows from Reese Windows. Text TRUST to 20129.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Got a question after an accident? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.
Occupying the space between high society and prison tattoos. This
Jerome, so good to see you. So good to have you here. Let's talk about all the drama, everything happening out there on planet Earth and beyond. This week took us to space. It took us all around the world. It took us to Iran. It took us to the Bahamas. I mean, this Bahamas murder mystery is the story that keeps on giving. And I've got some juicy stuff about Brian Hooker and his wife, the Hookers in Hopetown. The Hooker family in Hopetown in the Bahamas, where he is on this little dinghy, this 8-foot boat, and he says his wife fell off. She fell overboard. She fell right over the side. And the latest on him, by the way, is that he's blaming the wind for all of this. He said, I tried to get to my wife when she fell overboard, and the wind blew me away. And it just kept blowing me further away from her. And he said, when my wife fell off the boat, she had the keys on her wrist. And it left, the boat was without power. I couldn't do anything.
I didn't blow her in the same direction?
Didn't do it, he says. He says there's a bad storm that they decided to drive out in an 8-foot boat. And then when she fell into the water, there was nothing he could do. He tried his hardest. He threw that life preserver at her. They found that washed up on the shore in the Bahamas, but did not find her. And she ain't out there, folks. All right, if we haven't seen her at this point in time, she's dead with a capital D, would be the guess. But he's blaming the wind for her disappearance. He sent some text messages. I'll read you the text messages from the husband in a second. And then we had the weird-ass detail in this. I told you earlier, and if you're just joining us, you haven't heard this, but I told you that the other little twist in this was the man who says his wife fell off the boat and went overboard. When the cops in the Bahamas came to arrest him, they cuffed him, they put the cuffs on in front of him, and then he fell off his own boat into the water.
See?
And he said, whoa, and like that to me seems like that maybe was done so he could go, geez, anybody could fall off one of these boats. My wife fell off. When they came to arrest me, even I fell off. Holy cow.
So why'd you go out in the boat in the first place?
He'll say afterwards, we never should have done this, but it was her idea. Like, I wouldn't even be surprised if he blamed it on her or something.
I certainly would.
The post from CBS News says the day after his wife disappeared, Sealand, this says, the day after his wife disappeared during a nighttime boat ride in the Bahamas, Brian Hooker told a friend that she tried swimming back to the sailboat following her apparent fall overboard, but strong winds pushed them apart pretty quickly. Here are the text messages, all right? Here is the first one. Let me bring this up. You can watch the show over on thenewsjunkie.com or you'll see youtube.com/thenewsjunkie. You'll see the stream right there. And this is from Brian Hooker, the guy some suspect killed his wife in the Bahamas. He said, I did not kill her. He takes a text message from a friend that says, did we just see y'all on the news? ABC World News. It said Lynette fell off boat. And Brian Hooker responds to his friend who said this. He goes, yes, brother, I'm afraid so. Off the dinghy in some choppy seas on the way back to the sailboat. The wind blew me away from her, and she swam towards the sailboat, and we lost sight of each other pretty quickly. And it was just about sundown, he says. I drifted and tried to paddle with one oar for the next 7 hours until I washed up behind the shore of the next island over.
That's
and I was
a
able
lot
to
of
get some
detail
help.
for a text, man.
His statement at the beginning of this, when asked about this, he put a statement out that had a lot of detail in it. And the text to the friend, again, a lot of details, every little thing that happened here. So he said, I paddled with one oar for the next 7 hours. I washed up behind the shore of the next island over, and I was able to get some help finally. We are all still searching. A lot is going on right now, but I thank you for checking in on us. Being on the news is a huge burden, and I just had my first ever news organization call me a couple of minutes ago. And the friend responded, you're in our prayers. And he responded, this is the husband, who is now suspected by some of killing his wife in the Bahamas. He says, thank you, friend. Our family is in hell right now. Search and rescue just called, and they had searched a bunch of areas today, and no joy. Some of these are just like his mistakes in the text. They're going back out tomorrow, but a storm is coming in Wednesday, he says. Let me get the next text message here so I could see what he said following this.
These look like Facebook messages. Am I wrong on that?
It does look like a Facebook message. Yeah, because it's got like the call and the camera in the corner. So, yeah, I think it might be like a Facebook Messenger call or Facebook Messenger message, as it were. So he said, thank you, friend. Our family's in hell right now. Search and rescue just called and said they had searched a bunch of areas today. No joy. They're going back out tomorrow, but a storm is coming in Wednesday. Please keep us informed. If we can do anything, let us know ASAP. He sent back a thumbs up emoji. And he said, I know the pressure on you is hard. I'm praying hard, and if you need to talk or anything, let me know. This is what his friend said. Friend enough so they would text him all this stuff, but not friend enough so they wouldn't send this to the news. Because remember, this is now in the news out there. I know pressure on you is hard. I'm praying hard. If you need to talk or anything, let me know. Do you have a place to stay on the island, or are you staying on the boat? Any way I can help, please ask. He says, good morning, Daniel. Thank you for reaching out and supporting us. I got the boat back to Marsh Harbor yesterday after the fire department brought me back on my dinghy. I'm on a mooring ball at a place called Conch Inn.
Oh, we know
and
that
I'm
place.
staying on the boat, he said. All right, now I got to go to the next message here. He said, I'm staying on the boat. My sister and brother-in-law are flying in later this morning to stay for a couple of days, and I'll probably stay with them for a night or two while weather happens. But then I plan on heading back out on the site and continuing the search. I'll most likely definitely need help in the future, but I just don't know what it is yet. I'm trying to take it a day at a time and keep the faith. Search and rescue is out again, and that's today before some big wins come tomorrow. We're here to help any way we can, this friend says. We're in Shreveport, Louisiana, but our boat is on the north shore of the lake. We're going to buy a sailboat this week and bring both boats home, blah, blah, blah. And they said, the guy, oh my God, this is kind of weird. The guy responded, congratulations on your sailboat, Captain, and thank you for your kind offers. I will be in touch as events unfold. Bro, I'm not congratulating on you on your sailboat's purchase.
Sorry, your wife is probably dead. But congrats, Captain.
That's a little weird. Maybe this guy's like a boomer. Maybe he's strange. I don't know. I find a lot of his communication, thinking about the fact that your wife of over 2 decades is gone and presumed dead in the ocean. I find some of it like, hey, congratulations on your sailboat, Captain. Thank you for your kind offers. I'll be in touch as events unfold. I would not be saying that. I would not be doing that if I was in this circumstance. But what do you think? You think this guy's guilty? You think he's innocent? What happened to the hookers in Hopetown? The hookers in Hopetown. That's their last name, of course. She's still missing, presumed dead. Did he do it? That story's going to continue to get some traction throughout the next week or so. We'll keep an eye on it. Tell us what you think. Send us a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com right now. All right, let's get a couple of emails in. Here is Brandy emails about the exit taxes. We're talking about how some states are considering taxing people a portion of their net worth for leaving the state when they go to another state that is more friendly tax-wise. They want to take your monies as you're just leaving to go to another state, said Brandy in this email. So they made money off California, being a smart, rich California vacation spot, and then their business is out of Delaware or somewhere else. That's the case in some of these cases. Yeah. Some of these cases, the companies will make money out of one state and be operating out of another. But the point is, people should be free to move from state to state. It's a very important part about your freedoms in the United States of America. Like, let's say, for instance, you're a woman who is single and worried about possibly getting pregnant and not having access to an abortion or something. It's a pertinent fact to me and what I think of the American experience, if you're being poorly treated as you see it by one state, to be able to seek better treatment by another state and not be punished for that. You hear what I'm saying? Like, this is the key thing, is to not be punished for that. So some state says, we're going to ban X, Y, and Z. And you go, oh, that sucks. I really need X. And you go to another state and the state goes, well, too bad. You're getting it somewhere else. We're still going to punish you for this, right? This is bad. And it's even more bad if they're taking away your rights or your money, a portion of your money, just for leaving the state in general.
Texas try something like that, or was that only within the state of Texas? Like
on abortion, they did.
On abortion,
yes.
It was like,
Are you tattletale?
If you tattletale, and if you even gave somebody a ride to an abortion, it was like, lock them up.
I believe that got turned down, though. I believe that was overturned by the courts, and they weren't able to do that. There have been states that try to punish you for moving to other states or to going to other states to seek out medical attention like abortions and stuff. But usually they don't do this if you want to leave the state. They don't say, well, we're going to take a whole bunch of your money. Dan says, do states have an interest in their making sure their wealth isn't being extracted and taken to other states? I don't care. I care 0% about that. Yeah, I mean, this may be a huge difference between people here. I don't care about the concerns of a state. That doesn't matter to me 1 cent. The concerns of a person, of an individual, are what matter to me. The concerns of people, of human beings. I don't care about the concerns of a state. If a state goes bankrupt because of their decisions, I don't care. Let the state go bankrupt. If a state runs into major issues because of their, I don't care. But something that infringes on the rights of a human being, an individual, is something that I do care about. All right? Maybe we have different takes on that. Known Badger says, Sean, stop simping for billionaires if they got tax breaks, which is taxpayer money, to step up or to set up in the state and then leave. Why does it matter? Well, you can do things to companies that you should not be able to ever do to an individual. Again, I separate the individual from this. If you want to say that a company leaving your state that benefited from tax breaks to set up in your state or something should have to pay back if they didn't stay for whatever period of time you wanted an agreement on, and there was a business deal, fine. I don't care about any of that. I don't care about businesses. I don't care about taking money from businesses. I care about people, and I care about the state versus people. You either choose the state or you choose the individual, and I will always, every single time, choose the individual. I'm an individualist to my core. I don't care about team sports and politics or any of that. I care about people. And that's the way I look at things. Tell me if you look at it differently. Send a dispatch, in fact, over at thenewsjunkie.com. I didn't get to this Chick-fil-A story. I'll work it in right here, because we only have so much time in the power hour. An 18-year-old who did something I bet you wouldn't have done. An 18-year-old at a Chick-fil-A in North Carolina made a surprising call after stumbling upon something in the bathroom at Chick-fil-A. So this worker goes into the bathroom, and when he goes in there, he sees something. And he goes, wait, hold on. What's in this bag over here? And he finds that somebody had left some cash behind at the Chick-fil-A, right? Jaden Cintron is the guy's name. In the bag, he finds like these 2 envelopes. Hang on, I'm going to bring up the local news article here because this will be better. In the envelopes, $10,000 cash. This Chick-fil-A worker. He's a young guy. He's working at Chick-fil-A. He's not making crazy money. But he turns in the 10 grand in cash that he found in the Chick-fil-A bathroom. WITN.
A Kinston Chick-fil-A employee
Here's the story.
is being called an inspiration after he found thousands of dollars at the restaurant and turned it in. Chris Cook is live after talking to him and the owner. Chris?
Oh, Chris is excited.
Here he is.
Courtney, Jaden Cintron told me on Good Friday he simply walked into the bathroom during his break like he always does. Jaden Cintron
always during the break,
work at Chick-fil-A on Monday. But on Good Friday, his character was tested and he passed with flying colors. Kinston police say on Friday, almost $10,000 in cash was left in the restaurant's men's restroom beside the toilet.
That's crazy.
Cintron walked into the stall during his break like he always does and saw the cash.
Okay, you don't have to tell everybody so many times that he uses the bathroom on all of his breaks.
Yeah, I know. Good Friday, nonetheless.
Good old
3 times.
PP break Chris.
He's like, look, here's the deal about Jaden. When he gets a break, he has to poop. Like every time they mention this, they have to say that over and over and over. The guy did something good.
Then I just picked it up and I brought it to Human Resources.
The money was inside 2 envelopes when he found it. I asked him why he didn't just keep the money for himself.
But that's not what Jesus would have done. That's not what God would have wanted.
Right.
Cintron said his faith guides his thought process.
Look at this
Money
guy.
is useless without character.
Kinston Police
Not
Chief
false.
Keith Goyette said it's amazing that Cintron did what he knew was right.
A lot of people will unfortunately take that money and run with it, but kudos to that employee at Chick-fil-A. Definitely deserves an award.
John McFarland.
Or a reward. I
Extra
would
long
take
breaks
that.
for his number 1 and 2s.
He did get a reward. Let's see what he got. There was almost $10,000.
Sorry, Chief, are you not worried about why somebody had 10 grand cash in a bag in a Chick-fil-A bathroom?
Well, what would Jesus do?
They said the owner of the money came forward to claim the $9,833. Cintron, the Chick-fil-A worker, says the man approached him and offered a reward for his good deed. At first, he declined it. He said, I don't expect any reward for this. I did it because I think it's right. I did it because I believe in God. Jesus wouldn't do this. Got to give it to him. He's at least living up to the whole what would Jesus do thing. I salute you for that. And the guy approaches him and he goes, I'll give you a reward. Finally, he says, fine, I'll accept it. He gave him $500. That's what he gave him.
All right.
I mean, that's not bad. It's not bad. But he did save you $10,000 to the person who paid out $500.
What are you doing? Going to the bathroom at a fast food place.
10
carrying
grand?
your 10 grand, man.
And 2 white envelopes. You got 2 white envelopes.
What was it for?
They said it was labeled Truist Bank on one, and the other one was labeled First Citizens Bank. So I'm guessing this is a business that deals largely in cash, and they were going to make their deposits at 2 separate banks.
Strip club.
This is when people make big mistakes. When you're the deposit person, I've heard of people screwing that up. And you take the big zip up thing with all the cash in it from the register, and if you forget it or make a mistake, oh God, nightmare territory.
I've had friends who were responsible for doing that in their jobs, but the bank was next door. And so if you mess that up, buddy, what are you doing? You have to take it across the street.
Yeah, get your life together, for God's sake. Yeah, I mean, I think this kid's a good kid. Right? That seems like an impressive trait to me. When presented with the opportunity to take a whole bunch of money, you say, well, I don't feel like this is right. I'm going to bring it forward to the company here.
He said he took it to Human Resources. I would imagine that the Chick-fil-A doesn't have its own human resources in every store.
Yeah. I
would
think there's not
we'd be on hold, hotline style.
Yeah, I think Chick-fil-A doesn't necessarily have an office where somebody's sitting in there and they're like, well, I'm
maybe
the
the GM.
So he brought it to somebody. Well, let us know what you think about this guy and what he did and the reward. Send a dispatch at thenewsjunkie.com or an email to tips, TIPS, at thenewsjunkie.com. Quick break. When we come back, a man wanders into a bar. What he brought with him led to, well, some charges and a sentence from a judge. What did he bring into the bar? If I gave you all day, you wouldn't end up on it. But that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
That crash on the Greenway southbound before iDrive's cleared up. Traffic's getting by a lot better now. However, on Florida's Turnpike, traffic's starting to slow down northbound before that US 192 exit. I-4 eastbound over St. John's River Bridge, that's stop and go. There's even some slowdowns on I-95 near I-4. The roadways are starting to get busy. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is...
Hello. Power Hour rolls on. Welcome the scenes of the show. How you doing, Chad? How we doing? What would you have done with the $10,000 at Chick-fil-A? Would you have kept it or given it back? Okay, folks, sorry about that. Sorry for the delay. Just working on the final song to get us out of here on the show today. You would give it back in $1 increments? Finders keepers? Karma's a bitch, I'd give it back. Don't forget, after the show, all weekend long, fun, games, banter, good times, news updates, and so much more. TNJ Chat 2.0. And if you're watching Secret Shows live tonight, you can chat along with the show either on Discord or TNJ Chat. Your messages come into the studio. Contract update? Nothing to tell you. Nothing to share. TNJ Chat is badass. It is the greatest chat room ever invented. By the way, I built in stats. So if you go into TNJ Chat at any time, you could do exclamation point stats all together. And it will show you how many messages have been sent in the last 24 hours. Let's see, stats. I hit it. Oh, we got to get those numbers up today. Friday lagging so far. Get it on. Get it together. Rumor has it the kid is in management now. I really like what you're doing. I love it. I love what's happening there. I think that is a big future focus. The community for the show in the future is TNJ Chat. During the show, if you want to be on YouTube or Twitch, love it, dig it, fine, great. But overall, the best place is the place where I'll be able to have the most control over things and not have to rely on any companies or anything. A place that I created and that people are now part of, and the personalities over there are awesome. It's awesome. Chat.thenewsjunkie.com. Go over there and say hello right now. Now, all I'm saying is this. We're on our way on TNJ Chat to the 100,000th message. We're still in beta, and we will be in beta still when we hit the 100,000th message in TNJ Chat. All I'm saying is for those of you who are a part of it, on the way up to the 100,000th message, who are over there playing games, hanging out, posting links, chatting with each other, meeting new people. All I'm saying is if you're there before the 100,000th message, you will not regret it. Did you hear me? If you are over there and active before the 100,000th message on TNJ Chat, you will not regret it. Chat.thenewsjunkie.com. You hear me? A brand new car? Oh. Look under your seat. You got to mention it on air more? I don't want to necessarily yet. Hi, Kurt. Hi, Center Cut Bacon. Hi, MFQ. But I will mention it right now. I will mention it right now. All I'm saying is don't miss it. 100,000, baby.
Is Prime Sports Time.
Launches at 3. Got it.
And iHeartRadio has you locked in. Start your day with Fox Sports Radio's Dan Patrick, getting you caught up on the biggest stories.
You got some interesting scenarios here.
Then find your favorite baseball team hitting the diamond.
Grand slam from Mookie Betts.
Or dive into mock draft season with NFL Daily.
We know Mendoza's going number 1. Who do you have at number 2?
From NBA and NHL playoffs to the draft podium, we've got you covered. Open the iHeartRadio app, search sports, and listen now.
For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
The only show brave enough to admit we Google half this stuff. This is the new.
So good to see you. So good to be with you. And I do see you indeed. If you want to learn more about the show, go over to the website, thenewsjunkie.com. It's the greatest place on planet Earth, I'm telling you. The chat room. If you like news, if you like people, if you want banter, if you want to have fun, if you want to play games, if you want to do all these things, I have created the greatest chat room on planet Earth. I am confident of it now. And you can go over there and check it out this weekend. Chat.thenewsjunkie.com. All I am going to tell you, and I'm going to say this one time, if you are involved in TNJ Chat, which I think is the future of where the community for this show forms, it's awesome. It's great in every way, and I want to see you over there. If you are involved in TNJ Chat, if you're over there chatting, taking part, sending links, gambling, doing all the fun stuff on there, it will be worth it to be there before the 100,000th message. That's all that I'm saying right now. And even though they're in beta over at chat.thenewsjunkie.com, they're on their way. It's almost 70,000 messages so far.
I thought this was going a different direction. I thought you were putting out a warning. You were reading them their rights or something. I thought you were saying if you're involved and are doing XXX,
no, I
ban
cleared all
hammer.
those. Yeah, those animals are cleared out.
I thought there were some ne'er-do-wells in the chat beta.
The weirdos were chat 1.0. All those weird people, clear them out of here. Gone. See you later. Never again. And in chat 2.0, TOJ chat 2.0, you're just going to find some cool folks. You're going to find some amazing people. And I'm telling you, be there. Be there and be active before the 100,000th message. Pop in and say hello. I see you all screaming by right now on the studio screen. I see your messages pulling in from TNJ chat. Chat.thenewsjunkie.com. Let's talk about this.
Sex,
this
baby.
Is, well, it's not sex, C-Lane, but it is something that happened at a bar in Wyoming. Have you guys
still not ruling out sex?
Have you been to a bar in Wyoming, C-Lane?
No.
Have you been to Wyoming?
I don't believe I have.
Sabrina, have you been to Wyoming?
I have not, no.
Okay, none of us have been to Wyoming. We have not been to Jackson Hole. We've not been to a bar anywhere near Wyoming. We certainly haven't been to Pinedale.
I see a Jackson Hole quite often, but
that's different. Your son is not. That's a totally different thing. Let me ask TNJ AI real quick. how many people live in this town? It's got to be a small place here in Wyoming.
It's like a go-to, right? A destination for like the hippie hikers.
Sometimes Jackson Hole is, but I'm talking about in particular Pinedale, Wyoming, which just strikes me as an incredibly small spot. So here we go. How many people live in Pinedale, Wyoming? All right, so
Sean, it's a pretty small town. Last census puts Pinedale at around 2,000 residents. It's one of those places where everyone really knows everyone.
2,000 people, says TNJAI. 2,000 people, residents of Pinedale, Wyoming. And one of them is in a world of trouble. Why? A judge in Wyoming has sentenced this man to 18 months of probation. What did he do? You tell me if the sentence was worth it. He hit a wolf with his snowmobile.
Oh.
Then he taped the wounded animal's mouth shut.
Oh.
Then he brought it to a rural bar in Pinedale, and then he killed the wolf at this location. This is what he was sentenced for. He got drunk at a bar with the wolf that he had smashed into on his snowmobile, and he taped the mouth shut and brought it to this place.
Taking your snowmobile to a bar is not a thing that has ever been on my radar.
Yeah.
We'll never do that.
Have you guys even been on a snowmobile?
No.
I've never been on a snowmobile.
I've only taken a boat to a bar once, and it wasn't my boat, and I had nothing to do with piloting the boat.
He was facing 2 years in prison and a $5,000 fine. The judge fined him $1,000 and ordered him not to drink alcohol, enter a bar or liquor store, nor hunt or fish while on probation. 18 months. Remember that? 18 months. There were photos online showing the wolf with his mouth shut with tape.
Oh, poor thing.
Video showed the same animal lying on the floor, alive but barely moving. Wyoming law gives wide leeway for people to kill wolves and other predators by a variety of means in the vast majority of the state. Initially, he paid a $250 fine for illegal possession of wildlife, but was indicted on animal cruelty charges by a rare Wyoming grand jury last year. They did not like what he did to this animal.
Here's something that I could say that would put Wyoming in perspective for people who may not be familiar with, just the demographics or the layout here. The entire state of Wyoming is served by one single area code.
All right. Wow.
If you live in Wyoming and you get a phone number, you are the 307 area code. There's one area code. It was one of the original 86 area codes assigned by Bell Telephone in 1947, and they don't expect that to change for at least another 20 years.
Wow. I mean, this is a small state and a small city, and
the whole state is a small town.
Oh my God. And then they show the poor wolf. They taped up the wolf's mouth and just like dragged it along with him at the bar like he was some sideshow or something. And you know what? The guy deserves a punishment for that. You should be better to animals than that.
Tape his mouth shut.
And by the way, this doesn't mean like you can't hunt animals or wolves are good. If the wolf was so bad, when you hit it with your snow machine, take your gun out and kill the wolf and then bring it home and do whatever. Make the most out of the carcass, or I don't know if people use the meat for anything for their animals or something.
Wolf meat.
I wouldn't care if you did that. That's not heartless. If you hit an animal on accident and you put the animal out of its misery and you do all of that stuff and you make the most out of the animal, that's fine by me. I think morally you're in a good space if you do that. It's fine. But if you take an animal and you think it's funny and it's like dying and whimpering and hurting, coyote or not, wolf or not, that's gross. That's gross behavior. And I don't like it myself. Let us know what you think. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com.
Speaking of gross behavior in Jackson Hole.
Oh, God, no, not
Are you talking about your son?
Nothing gross with Jackson, please.
Right in the bathtub last night.
Oh, are you serious? People are just joining the show, some of them. They were just along for a fun viral news ride. They didn't want to hear about him evacuating.
I was just along for fun bedtime, fun to read a story. I didn't know I was having to go
fishing,
removing.
He doesn't understand what you can or can't do.
No, he doesn't. In fact, the first thing he thought was, we have to show Daddy.
Although,
Dad,
come see.
I think no punishment for him. No punishment is warranted in this case. The wolf guy, let's
No, but
punish
his
that
next
guy.
bath, you do it and show him what it's like.
Yikes! That is pretty gross behavior, but he's a kid, so he gets away with it. Let us know what you think about all this. As I said, send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. All right, quick break. When we return, we'll get to you and your comments, your emails, everything to wrap up a power hour here on the final day of the show, and we'll get geared up for NASA coming back in just a matter of hours. I got the timeline, what we're looking at, where they're going to be splashing down, and all the other details we need to know about the end of the Artemis II mission. And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
AI can write jokes. We know when to pause for a laugh. Real Radio 104.1. Guaranteed human.
From the Odoo.com Weather Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
Happy Friday, Central Florida. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecast. And for today, we finally begin to dry things out. We're only going to be expecting a very slim chance of a stray shower or two, and a lot of these are going to hug areas near the coast. What they will do, though, is help to bring about a few clouds our way. We're looking at about a 20% chance of rain under partly cloudy skies. And again, these are going to hug areas near the coast. Temperature-wise, we'll be quite comfortable, even a couple of degrees below normal as highs approach the upper 70s and low 80s. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Fresh from Florida.
This is Ross Chastain, NASCAR driver and your Fresh from Florida farmer. When you shop for locally grown fruits and vegetables, look for the Fresh from Florida logo. It's a sign of local pride, peak freshness, and quality you can trust. That little logo, it's a big deal.
Folks, let me tell you about Mills Air. This is a company with your AC. They're going to help you out. Simple as that. Other AC companies, going to rip you off. Simple as that. They're a Carrier factory authorized dealer, which gets you access to really big rebates. If it's time you need a new AC, there could be a pressure cooker of a situation and you don't want to get taken advantage of. At the very least, you go with Mills Air and you get a big rebate. They also have financing for basically everybody out there. It's getting hot outside. It's only going to get hotter as the spring and summer rolls on. So what I want you to do is finally do something about your AC. Either get it fixed or get the new one you've been dreaming about. And you could do that with Mills Air. Don't choose anybody else. Mills Air is the way to go. 407-277-1159. That's 407-277-1159. Forget all the other trucks you see. Forget what your friends are telling you. This is the place to go.
Oh, my jeebers. Stand by. Chat, stand by. Are you standing by? Stand by. 3, 2, 1. The Oiler himself, Sun State John. He's a madman. He's out of control. He's unhinged. 12 gifted subs. 12 gifted subs. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The king of the gifters. Sun State John. That's why he's on the Hall of Fame, and he's the only one there, for God's sake. Holy cow. Rate the show. You don't have a lot of time. Rate the show. 20 out of 10, great show, somebody says. 10 out of 10, it's in the Hall of Fame. 1 out of 10, you know the story. It's going into Loserville. Sun State John is probably Courtney's burner account. 9.6 bass floaters out of 10. Ugh. Gross. Thank you, Sun State John. Go grab those gifted subs while you can. 9 white boat anchors out of 10. 9.2 flatulent ballads out of 10. Unbelievable. Okay, we're coming back right now. Sun State John, Chatter of the Week. Let's hear it for the boy. Thank you, everybody. God bless. Have a great weekend. Stay gold. We'll see you next week.
Truck driving around Orlando. Are they lost or something?
We're not lost. We're on our way to repair your neighbor's roof. We may be called Eustace Roofing, but we help families in Orlando every single day. No out-of-town crews, no gimmicks, just roofing done right by locals who know the Florida weather. Visit EustaceRoofing.com to schedule your free estimate. Head to this station's contest page for your chance to win a $25,000 gift card towards a new roof. It's the Dream Home Makeover with Eustace Roofing.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
No one's really sure what all C-Lane's buttons actually do. This is the News Junkie.
And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Friday. And thank you for hanging out with us. Learn more about the show over at thenewsjunkie.com. Couple of things on the way out. First of all, big thanks to Sun State John, the king of the Oilers, the man who has gifted more subs than everybody else, and it's not even close, has gifted 12 more subs to secret shows. You can claim those right now. People always yell at me. They're like, I listen to the podcast, and by the time I hear this part, obviously there's no secret shows subs that I can claim. Sorry, that's the benefit of watching the show or listening to the show live. Go claim those right now. There's only 5 left, just from even blabbing about it for a second. Claim them right now to get your free month from Sun State John of Secret Shows over there on thenewsjunkie.com. Thanks to everybody else who gifted today and throughout this week. There was a ton of you that gifted this week. And there is another Secret Shows tonight, 8 p.m. 8 p.m. It is streaming live on thenewsjunkie.com. You'll see the countdown before that. You can chat and watch live, or it will be posted after that. All right? The Secret Show will be posted after that. But thank you to Sun State John. Grab those while you can on the way out. Okay, let's see what we have here. NASA is coming back down with Artemis. I've been watching their website, which is just as cool as all the other stuff they're doing. It's nasa.gov/missions/Artemis-II/AROW. And they have this timer, and then they show the Orion space capsule. You see how much time has elapsed. You see how fast they're going. You see how many miles they have left in real time and the distance, from the moon at this point, because they were counting down their distance to the moon, and now they're, counting how far away they're getting from it. They're heading down at 25,000 miles per hour. The capsule will get up to 5,000 degrees, and hopefully we'll have a safe entrance into the planet and into the waters off the coast of California. It plops down at about 15 miles per hour after this journey.
I noticed when we were watching the coverage of them looping around the moon, and there was a lot of shots of mission control, especially when they were, incommunicado for that 40 minutes, that at any point there's like multiple countdowns on the big screen at mission control. Yeah. It was like countdown to, the countdown to hitting the moon, right? Or countdown to the farthest from the humanity has ever gone from the Earth. Countdown to the next crew nap. And then the ultimate countdown was like countdown to splashdown.
Yeah,
and I was like, man, they've got all that just programmed in there. It's pretty crazy the amount of math that they have had to do just to pull all this off. It's really, really incredibly impressive.
Impressive stuff, and they're headed back. Hopefully they have a safe landing and all is well. We can hear the rest of the stories from these astronauts. 3 Americans and 1 Canadian now back on Earth. The way this goes, I guess, around 12. Well, this must be West Coast time, the entry. But Orion comes back into the Earth's atmosphere. It starts parachuting in and ends up landing off the coast of San Diego. San Diego is the place where this is going to go. And somebody who's been welcomed to Kennedy Space Center following the launch is that little kid who said, we're going to the friggin' moon.
The friggin' moon.
And
that's awesome.
they've hooked him up with a bunch of merch and brought him to the Kennedy Space Center because they love to see these young kids become fans. I do too. I think it's awesome. I see all these kids really, really excited about this. All right, some clips that we haven't gotten to. Let's see, I can work in maybe this one. Hang on, I got to fast forward this to the part that matters the most. Here's the clip.
About the situation.
We have a passenger that's ready to leave us, and we'd like to continue direct.
All right, they didn't hear them, but the pilot just said something kind of big.
Hey, Caribbean 5, proceed direct ZTOL, and I missed it. You said sick passenger. We have a passenger, a pregnant passenger who's ready to leave at this time, requesting direct ZTOL. Caribbean 5, roger that. Proceed direct ZTOL, maintain 2,000.
How about that guy's voice? ZTOL, maintain 2,000. They had a baby born on a flight. That's right, yeah.
What a shocker, what a surprise. It's a tap story as long as it flies. This next clip is wild and insane.
I mean, we are counting down.
We're back on a plane.
To the end of this show.
I was at the effing finish line. I almost cursed. I was so close. Hit with it, though, right at the tail end of the show here.
Was it an American baby, or is it international waters now?
It was a Caribbean Airlines flight, and New York City's JFK Airport. It doesn't say. Yeah, it doesn't say, but it was bound for JFK. And the baby was born on the flight. Craziness. All right, let's get the hell out of here. We did all the dispatches I think we're going to do. New dispatch recorder is on the way. That should be up on the website for you next week at some point in time. Hopefully that'll improve those low-quality dispatches that have been killing me. Just killing me. But for now, let's get out of here. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
Just making sure we paid off everything we said we were going to pay off. Okay, good to go. Today I Learned this show right here.
Muppets.
The Muppets.
Okay.
Yes, indeedly do. The Muppet Show received a letter from a man informing them that the Swedish chef doesn't speak actual Swedish. The head writer wrote back, "Thank you for bringing this to our attention. We were going to fire the chef on the spot, but he has a wife and family and promises to take Swedish lessons." Somebody called him out. They said, I don't know if you guys know this. That Swedish chef of yours is a phony. He's not telling the truth, that guy. Today I learned there was a guy named Michael Cork with an E on the end. Michael Cork, a Chicago man with fatal insomnia. He was so sleep deprived, he was fully awake for 6 months before he passed away in 1993. He was 42 years old at the time. Today, I learned Iceland has never won a Winter Olympic medal. That's just brutal. That just hurts. Just
not even
painful to him.
No,
not even a Winter Olympic medal. No. Today, I learned it rained spiders in Australia in 1974. They said the whole place was covered in these little black spiderlings. Everywhere you looked in Australia, in this area, completely covered in 1974. They said it was beautiful until you got close and realized they were all little spider babies crawling around everywhere. And finally, today I learned this band, space-related. Space Hog. Yeah, Space Hog it is. Congrats to the astronauts. Congrats to NASA. Congrats to Artemis people. Congrats to you if you were rooting for them. No congrats to you if you weren't. The band Space Hog met in a cafe where they were killing rats as a side job. Who cares? We're out of here, baby. We'll see ya Monday. Same time, same place. Missed any of the show? Don't worry, friend. You can always get the podcast over at thenewsjunkie.com. See you over on chat. Where's that? Chat.thenewsjunkie.com. Chat.thenewsjunkie.com. We'll see.